Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. This is episode number 13, the Edgardo Alfonso episode. That's what we're calling it. I'm one of your hosts, Will Hernandez, and I am here with my co-host, as always, Mr. LeeJay Perilla. LeeJay, we are about, 48 hours from going to Milwaukee. How you feeling right now about our trip to Milwaukee?
Yeah, let's go, baby.
This fucking guy.
Let's go. We're coming, Midwest. We're coming to get you and drink your beer.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, you don't know how excited I am when I punched out today. You just don't understand.
No, I understand.
I'm tired because I had to get up early this morning to be in early, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, no, that's good. You're feeling good. I'm feeling stressed. Only because I don't know if I mentioned this in the last show or not, but I got a new job. I think I might have mentioned it. And I start the job October 1st. But the problem is it hit me today that by the time because I finally logged into Travelocity to check our flight things, and I realized today, oh shit. Actually, last night I did this. When I realized what time we would be getting back, and considering JFK and all that, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to stay with LeeJay on Monday night just so I'm already in the city.
You know what's funny? When you sent me that text last night, I said, this piece of shit just looked now
Yes.
after asking me for that information 3 weeks ago. That's exactly what I said to myself sitting on the
No,
sofa.
that text was just last week, sir. It wasn't 3 weeks ago.
Let's do 3 weeks. It sounds better.
No, it definitely wasn't 3
It
weeks.
sounds better. I said, this guy just logged in just now. That's what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
I know that's what he's doing.
Yeah, it is. Here's the problem, though. If I would have done it earlier, like 3 weeks ago or whatever, I would have just started the new job on Wednesday, October 2nd. But it is what it is.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because I would have had a day to get back up here and get ready and whatever. Bottom line is, it is what it is. But because of that, next week is going to be a shit show recording-wise, and we're probably not going to record until Wednesday because I'm staying down there Tuesday. Whether I'm staying with my brother or I'm staying at a hotel or whatever, that's just the situation because I kind of screwed myself up too because I signed up to go to like some networking event on Tuesday night, not really thinking about anything.
But also, wouldn't you have to be in the office on Wednesday because it's the new job calls for that being in the office? So it doesn't make sense to go back to Newburgh.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, dude. Let me tell you something.
You're gonna be tired, but guess what?
Oh.
I'll think about you because I'm off all week.
Fuck you.
Thank you.
I tell you what, one thing I'm not looking forward to in some respects is having to go down into the city once a week.
And why did they give you Wednesday? That's
that's
one
the
of the
day that they go in.
One of the, not that we would do it every Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's one of the days I work from home.
Yeah, that's the day that they're in.
So, obviously, I would go into the city after I punch out and we can meet up. It's not a big deal, but
yeah.
Well, out of all days, they had to give you a freaking Wednesday.
Well, that's when everybody else is there. So
I got you.
Yeah, that's kind of what the agreed upon day is. So, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It's it's a new opportunity for me. I'm a little nervous, but I'll be fine. But yeah, next week we're gonna record on Wednesday. It's just the only way we can do it. So, anyway. Quickly, social media, you know where to find us. Two Dummies That Just Watch on all the socials. We're up to 7 YouTube subscribers.
Yeah.
7.
Let's go.
Let's try to get to 300 by the end of the year. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's part 1 to getting monetized is getting 300 subscribers. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but hey, you never know. You never know. I'm trying to think if it's anything else.
If I start giving out cash, it would.
Jesus Christ. Let's not. Okay. So let's get into it because listen, I was thinking about this today, and New York sports is having a moment right now. This is not on the agenda, by the way. That just is a random thought I had leading into this episode that I thought I would maybe preamble about for a couple of minutes because I don't know, man. Listen, whatever, Giants won Sunday. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Jets had a great performance on Thursday. The Mets are winning. They're in a position to clinch in the next couple of days, hopefully. Yankees are on the verge of clinching an NL East, AL East title. And they, hasn't been, I think it's been a while since they've done that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's been, holy cow.
Been a few years. Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
It's been, yeah.
New York Liberty, I'm going to give the shout out to the Liberty because, hey, they're in the playoffs right now and they're the top seed. And they're probably at least going to make it to the WNBA finals. So, you got that going on right now. And hockey season is starting, which is fucking weird. But we're going to get into that way later because I've got some things to say about that whole thing as preseason starts for the NHL. But, yeah, it's just good vibes around New York City right now. And speaking of good vibes, the Giants finally fucking won a game on Sunday as they beat the hapless Cleveland Browns 21-15. I'll just quickly go through some key stats here. Daniel Jones threw for 236 yards with 2 touchdowns. He was 24 for 34. Malik Neighbors, the phenom, 2 touchdowns, 78 yards, 8 receptions, and 1 ill-fated pass. Stupid. I never want to see that ever again. Please, let's not do that anymore. Because that was, my God. Here's the thing, and I'm not super excited about the win from the perspective of these guys got shut out in the second half. While the Browns were shitting the bed, so to speak, pun intended, with the color there. They came out on fire to start, 21 points in the first 2 quarters. And then they just kind of like took the gas off the pedal, which I don't understand. And I feel like you can't do that on Thursday. Because I tell you this right now, the Cowboys, considering what has happened to them in the past 2 games, I know they almost came back on Sunday against the Ravens. But considering what the Cowboys have gone through the last 2 games, they're going to come out on a mission on Thursday. Simple as that. And right now, the division, it's crazy. I know it's only 3 games in. The division is up for grabs in a way because you watch some of these teams, maybe with the exception of the Commanders, and we'll get into that later. The Eagles look like shit. The Cowboys look like shit. The Giants are shaky. So anyway, sir, what I know you watched the game on Sunday. What are some of the things that stood out to you? And we'll talk about Neighbors day on Sunday as well. But initial thoughts on the Giants win on Sunday.
My initial thought is always the same thought. And now all of a sudden, guess what? Again, what is it now? Coincidence? I think not. Everyone wants to talk about how Deshaun Watson sucks and the Browns suck. I'm tired. I really am tired. Because I don't know who's eavesdropping or what's happening here. That was never, I'm telling you, I never heard of this stuff until I said it from Jump Street. I'm not afraid to say something. If I got to eat crow at the end of the day, it happens. But this is the rhetoric now. Deshaun Watson sucks.
All of a sudden, yeah.
Let's try to get rid of this contract. Everyone needs to stop. I said it. No one else. I don't care what anyone says. Back to the Giants. I kind of feel like this is I've always complained about. I think we've talked about this. I feel like when teams have, and they didn't even have that big of a lead, it just feels like their play calling got maybe basic. I don't know.
Yeah, it got more conservative. It got more conservative.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. That's why I'm here.
They just got to be more. They weren't being as aggressive as they were in the first half. And I would have liked to see at least another touchdown. Maybe they could have won that game by a lot because the
Oh, of course they
Browns
could have.
look terrible. They look terrible. And I don't know. They just what was the score when they went into halftime? I can't remember. Was it
It
like
was
21-7?
21-7. Yes. Yeah, 21-7.
Yeah, when you come out that second half, you step right on their throat. The minute you get the ball, you got to come out, drive. If you don't get a touchdown, at least get a field goal. The Browns, they gave him a little opportunity. Luckily, like you said, they shot the bed and they stink.
Yeah.
Because maybe if that was another team, they don't come out with that win. But a win is a win. You can't take that away from them. I know you were down a little bit on it because you didn't trust what was going to happen at the end of the game. But a win is a win. A win is a win. You got to take the win, and you got to move on. And let's see what happens Thursday.
The funny thing is the way that game started. Holy shit, man! Can we just talk about that for a second? Because
I wrote down the whole first quarter because I just wanted to see. Because as soon as that kid fumbled, I was just holding my phone waiting for the text just to see what you were gonna say.
Dude, I lost my shit. I was defeated. I felt defeated already. You know what I mean? Like I was completely defeated. And then to make matters worse, Watson passes it to Cooper on the first fucking play after they got the ball back. So, and this is what worries me about Thursday, because I don't know if you saw it today.
Mm-hmm.
2 cornerbacks now are out for the Giants on Thursday, but they're getting somebody back, and one of them is the rookie guy from Minnesota. So that shit, Cooper was killing them on Sunday. Despite what you want to say about Watson overall, Cooper was killing them on Sunday. CeeDee Lamb is going to kill the Giants on Thursday. I mean, I don't even have any doubts about that. So they're going to have to find a way to control him somewhat and then worry about everybody else to make sure that those other players don't hurt them. But I'm still, again, I don't understand. Like you were saying, they came out second half conservative, 8 sacks overall. I forget how many of those came in the first half, but I was like, man, where was his defense in the first 2 games? And apparently they changed things up because they kept on saying, the Browns kept on saying after the game, oh, we weren't expecting them to blitz so much because that's not what this guy's MO is.
Yeah, yep. They kept on saying that.
Yeah, they kept on saying that. And all of a sudden, Burns had a good game. Thibodeau had a decent game. The middle
Lawrence
linebacker
had another good game.
Yeah, the middle line. Yeah, of course. Big Daddy Dex.
Okereke.
McFadden had a good game too.
He had a good game. Okereke, is that his name?
Okereke.
He had a good game.
Yeah. So I mean, again, you come out in the first half, balls to the wall, and then the second half you come out and it's like you pull your finger off the trigger when you had them.
I think maybe part of them blitzing too, even though he doesn't do that, is because they saw like Watson didn't know what he was doing.
Bro,
for lack of a better term, he looked lost.
He did.
So and every time he was pressured, it didn't look like he knew what to do. So I guess that was part of what they saw. I don't know. I haven't heard that. That's what I'm guessing.
Right.
By just watching the game. And by the way, that guy, what's his name? Is it Gray, the kick returner?
Yeah, he was the one who fumbled the ball.
He had the same issues last year.
Yes. Yeah.
Why is he still returning kicks and punts?
Sir,
get somebody else in there.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
This guy had the same problem last year.
Yeah. The problem is that the guy, what's the guy's name? From last year was returning punts and kickoffs. Wasn't he the white dude? He had long hair.
Oshevsky.
Yeah. I think he's hurt. That. I think he might be hurt.
Oh, I got
either that or he's not there anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking on my ass right now. But yeah. Meantime, you got that happening. But you got Austin Eckler returning kicks for the fucking Commanders and looking great doing it. I like
until he left the game last night. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He got a concussion.
Oh, did he? Oh shit! Yeah. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll talk about the Commanders later. But let me let me get to mid-league neighbors for a second. Because this is another LeeJay was right moment, I guess, fucker. Go back to I think it's our season preview episode. Because I was looking at clips today on Instagram of stuff that we've posted. And there was that one thing that you said about neighbors. Can neighbors do it? Hold
Be
on.
the deciding factor in a couple wins.
Yeah, because hold on, because I'm on the New York Post website and it started playing a video. I just want to make sure that it doesn't play through. Okay. Yeah, so there's one thing that stands out in that what you said, because I went back to go look at it yesterday about how make Daniel Jones look better. And we talked about it during he can catch, right? This guy can catch. That second touchdown where
oh man,
I don't know how high he jumped. I don't know what his vertical is, but that was a terrible throw. I mean, it was.
And he got his feet in right before his arm hit the ground.
Yeah. So that touchdown.
And that's what I meant by that. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant by that.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That touchdown is the perfect example of this guy's athleticism is going to save Daniel Jones and probably maybe win them 2 or 3 games. Maybe Sunday's number 1. And then maybe
think about it. The game they lost the previous week, that could have been the first game, but he wound up dropping that ball.
Right. Yeah.
Which happens. I'm not going to get on the kid, but this is what I was talking about. He's gonna have at least another one of those.
Oh no, what's gonna happen?
2, 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So here's the thing.
He got skill.
No, he does, bro. Listen. I might be eating my words because I was the one who said during the early episodes that the Giants are going to regret drafting him because of the whole strip club thing. You keep going to strip clubs, brother. You're going to be playing like that. Just don't be showing off that money. So here's the thing. Here are the records. His 23 receptions are tied with Anquan Bolden for the second most by a player in his first 3 NFL games. Puka Nacua of the Rams has the record with 30 catches in 2023. That was his first year in the league. Neighbors, at 21 years old and 56 days, is the youngest in NFL history with 2 touchdowns in a game. The previous record holder by about 20-something days was Mike Evans, who was 21 years old and 73. 21 years old with 73. Sorry, 21 years, 73 days old. The way they wrote that was weird. That happened back in 2014. Listen, man, I don't know what to say about this guy anymore. My only concern is by how much they double team him. And listen, they said it on the broadcast. They weren't throwing to him to begin with because they were trying to figure out how they were covering him. And then all of a sudden, he was getting open. The one thing I love that he does well, he changes direction like that. If you notice, catch, and then boom, goes the other way and gets a few more yards out of multiple plays. So, yeah, man. I mean, listen, the guy's great. Like, I hate to say it. What the hell was that?
I don't know what they're doing. They're always doing something over here, bro. Oh my God. Who said what is happening right now? Who got the chainsaw out? Do I gotta call the cops?
That's insane.
Oh my goodness, man. Wow. Anyway. You know what I've noticed? This is defense across the league. I wanted to ask because I remember this back in the day being a pass interference.
Yes.
Because it happened on the first Browns touchdown after the fumble when Watson threw the touchdown to Cooper.
Yes.
The cornerbacks don't turn around and look.
They
to
don't
see where the ball is.
I thought that was a pass interference.
I thought back in the day that was automatically pass interference. If you don't turn around and look where the ball is and you're just grabbing.
Yeah, that is.
He never turned around to look where the ball was. How do you expect to defend that by just figuring out where the receivers? He could do anything to juke you, and then you put your hands on him passing it. I don't know. I remember that being back in the day. Whether you touched him or not, if you didn't turn your head around, they called it. I don't know.
I think that's changed. I don't know when that changed, but I'm pretty sure that that's changed because you
And
see
even
it.
if it's changed, like you don't want to look to see like Cooper can't go anywhere else. You're almost in the end zone. There's but so much space, so it's not like he's gonna make a quick slant right or left. He's going
Mhm.
that way, so take a quick look.
Right.
Like if you're in an open field, I kind of understand it because if you once you look back, he could go the other way.
Yeah.
But Cooper, there was no space for him to go anywhere, so why not just take a look? And maybe you could have batted the ball down or something. I don't know.
I I think what the problem is, and I notice this a lot these days, is that I think they base a lot of it on the receiver's body language. You can see it in their eyes. You can see it when the receiver puts his hands up, and
Hmm.
it's a guessing game. I think at that point, but you're right. Why don't you just?
Just a quick peek.
Could it be? I'm just thinking about this now.
Because think about it, even if he's a guessing game and he puts his hand up, Cooper's still looking at the ball.
Right?
So he
Yeah.
could stick his hands forward and just grab the ball out of the air or something like that
Do you
before you even
think?
get a chance to touch it.
Do you think it's because they don't want to lose momentum running forward?
That
That
could be a
looking back,
possibility too. I just look at it more on that play because there was nowhere else Cooper could have gone.
yeah,
His
right,
route was go.
yeah,
His route was a
exactly,
go route. It was not slant inside because he would have did that already. It was straight go route to the end zone. Because you could see Watson from the beginning. He was looking all the way, and that's the ball he was going to throw.
right,
So I
yeah,
just don't understand. And I get it. They don't know the play there defensively, but he's going straight. There's certain things you should already know by, like you just said, receiver's body language.
yeah,
Just a quick peek. Just a quick peek. Nothing. Don't stare or nothing like that. Just a quick peek, just to catch the ball, look back at him, and then kind of guess where you think the ball's going to land, and then stick your hand. I don't know. I just
yeah,
find it happens a lot, but whatever. I don't know.
yeah. It does. Yeah,
It is what it is.
it's an interesting observation. I mean, because I notice it. I notice that guys don't turn around anymore, and I wonder when that changed. That they're depending on that feel, I guess, or looking at body language.
But I also feel you're more susceptible to pass interference because what if the receiver's like, oh, I think this is going to be a little bit short. Let me just step forward a little bit.
Yes, right.
Pass
Yeah,
interference.
yeah,
Trick the
exactly.
referee.
Yeah. And don't forget the pass interference. You can't review that anymore. That
You
was a
can't. So they
fucking
could do anything, and they're gonna
yeah,
usually it's gonna be called on the defender. That's just what
yeah.
it is.
That was
But
dumb when they did that.
whatever.
Jesus. One final thing before we move on, and I know we're going to talk about the our picks later on, but I'm just going to reiterate for Thursday. The Giants historically have not played well in prime time, but I will say one thing: usually the home team has the advantage on these Thursday night games. They're comfortable. They're in their home digs. Whether that's going to make a difference on Thursday, I don't know. But the Giants better be ready for the Cowboys on Thursday because they're going to come out like a bat out of hell Thursday.
Wasn't this game played on Thursday last year? Or was that a Monday night game? It was a primetime game, right?
I think their
The
first one,
40-0
it was a
debacle.
primetime game. Yeah, I think it was a Sunday night game, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Don't forget, I'm just going to say, I mean, this was a game that I had the Giants winning on Thursday, and I still have them winning. We'll get into that more in depth later, but I said win this Cowboys game at home because they're not going to win on Thanksgiving. At least I don't think they are. Was it Thanksgiving they're playing, right?
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
complaining about
yeah,
one of these holiday games.
yeah. Because my mom would kill me if I went to go see the
That's right.
Giants
Go
play.
see them, right? Because you wanted to
Right,
go to Texas, right?
right.
That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Anyway, all right. So there's one thing I want to. I know we talked about the Jets Thursday night, and guys, go check out that episode 12. We talked about the Jets in the aftermath of that win on Thursday, which was, by all intents and purposes, a really impressive win. Here's the thing, though, because this is the way I think sometimes, and I haven't told you what I'm thinking about, but we talked about it briefly, I think, recently. Because all I saw in the aftermath of the Jets win were all these Jets fans were ecstatic. We have a fucking quarterback. This guy can play. Yada, 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 yada. Here's the thing that I kept on thinking about, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, But what's the plan after Aaron Rodgers?
I already told
You're
you.
shaking your head.
I already told you my plan.
Right. No. I know. But if that guy's not available, the guy to get who was the guy that you want to trade for?
The backup for the Bears.
The backup for the Bears. Right.
Oh my God, what's his I think Tyson. I can't remember his name. I'll Google it.
And the reason I bring this up is because it's almost a similar situation to what we've talked about with the Mets in a way. That you sign these guys to these short 1-2 year deals and you don't build momentum and longevity and consistency over years. So my thought was, after watching everybody lose their minds, and hey, listen, I would be too if that guy was my quarterback. And we get it. We talk about the hamster wheel of turds. LeeJay always talks about the quarterbacks that have been with the Jets over the years.
Recycled.
Yeah. But my thought again is, okay, Rodgers is in the second year of a 3-year contract. He still has one more year after this. Who the fuck knows if he retires? You never know. Who knows? Because I don't think the money is guaranteed next year either.
Yeah,
So
I'm not sure about them. All I know, I do remember him saying he wanted to play when he signed with the Jets. If I'm not mistaken, I think he said he wanted to play 4 years. I didn't think that was realistic.
I mean,
But
listen,
if
Brady.
they don't win this year, I could see him coming back next year. If they, by the grace of God, win the Super Bowl this year, first of all, I'm not going to know how to act. That's number one.
Jesus Christ! I don't
You think
want to know.
You think I'm a maniac now?
I
Number two,
will be home watching that game.
If he wins, I think he retires. Because
I think so too.
I've never mentioned this, but I really think, because there've been rumors about him and Favre not having the best relationship. And remember, Brett
really?
Favre came to the Jets.
Right.
The rumor is he didn't want to come to the Jets, but he came anyway. Remember, they started off 8-3 that year, then wound up losing shit in the bed. They didn't make the playoffs. I feel like it's not a coincidence that Rodgers picked the Jets, because I feel at the time there was still a lot more talented teams that needed a quarterback. I think he's like, Favre couldn't do it. I want to do it. It's an ego thing with him. He's a big ego guy. I believe that. I've thought about that. I really believe that.
He's fucking trolling Favre.
Trolling Favre. I believe that.
That'd be amazing.
You probably will never find that out, maybe until after the fact. But remember where you had her first. I really believe that. I believe that. It's not a coincidence he came to the Jets. I'm sorry. I know
you don't believe in coincidences.
I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. And the rumor is there's been always that they haven't had the best relationship. They'll say now, yeah, we talk, blah, blah, blah.
Interesting.
But by the way, the guy's name is Tyson Bagent.
Oh, right. Okay.
Guess what college he went to?
Michigan?
Shepherd.
What the fuck?
He was a Shepherd Ram. That might have been Division 2. I'm not 100% sure.
Jesus.
Not even Division 1. But I like the kid. I like his attitude. I know. I just like him.
So, see, now I'm fascinated by this whole... I'm just looking up what division they are. It's in Durham, West Virginia. Shepherdstown,
West Virginia. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They are... they're actually pretty cheap college. You don't see that these days. Here we go. I'm looking up. So, no, let's back up a little bit. It's Division 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Yep, Division 2. Yep.
So,
I swear to God, if the Jets get Tyson Bagent, I quit.
By the way, let's back up even more. Sidetrack. LeeJay is convinced that people are listening to this podcast and stealing our ideas.
I don't care. That's what I believe. My opinion. I don't have it as fact. I can't say that's fact. Listen, Mr. Hernandez knows, because he tells me he makes this statement all the time to me when I send him some scuttlebutt here on the radio, on the TV shows, the sports TV shows. He says his quote is, "I don't know how you listen or watch that shit."
Right.
And I watch a lot and I listen to a lot. And I'm telling you, I don't hear these things until stuff starts to happen. Now, I feel like, real quick, like we said, we don't want to get sidetracked. I feel like a lot of, I think a lot of these talk show hosts, a lot of them are good. I love a lot of them.
Yeah, I know.
Some of them on television, they're great. Let's forget about good. They're great. I feel like they just some of them are afraid to say what they want to say once the year starts, and they just go by game by game. Anyone could do that. That's my opinion. Anyone can do that. I'm not afraid. Whether you and I started this or not, you know how I am.
I know. Yeah.
In front of friends, whatever. I have an opinion, I'm going to say it. But that's from the beginning. It's just like when people that play sports growing up talking shit. You don't talk shit after the game ends. Talk before the game ends.
Right.
I mean, before the game starts. Talk shit. Don't be afraid to have egg on your face. That doesn't make you a good shit talker until you wait till the game ends. And that's what I feel my biggest problem with a lot of these talk show hosts are. But that's just my opinion.
Someone, God, I'm. I wish there was a way to know, but I tell you one thing. More people are listening to this because I can see it on the plays, especially on Apple Podcasts. Our last two shows, not counting the last episode, but uh it's especially with the NFL stuff. People are listening. Anyway, let's go back to this Brett Favre Aaron Rodgers thing before we address the future of the quarterback position for the Jets. Why do these guys have to have a good relationship? Is there? I mean,
They don't. They
what's
don't.
what
I
I
guess
mean?
that's
But
what
do
I just
people
feel like
want them
some
to
people.
have one? Is that what it is? Are people like willing that? It just seems weird. Like, who the fuck cares if they do?
I
or
guess
not?
because he did sit behind Favre for a couple years.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard this, and then I'm not. I think I heard on a clip of a podcast, not a whole podcast. I just heard a clip, and somebody brought it up to Favre, and he was like, "Oh, I was unaware of that," or something like that. I guess they were just asking him a question about the
Interesting.
relationship that they thought they heard wasn't good between him and Rodgers. But I'm telling you, I feel like that's a thing. I've
That
never heard it
he's
anywhere. It's just my thought.
that he's
Just because of
trolling.
more of like, I feel like we see who Aaron Rodgers is and his personality. Like he don't give a shit.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He does whatever the fuck he wants to do,
People hate that.
and people hate it. He has a big ego, but why not? You're like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, 4-time MVP, Super Bowl champ. Who like? I wish people would speak their mind more. It's still his opinion. Like people get
Right.
too fixated on someone's opinion. It's not fact. It's what he believes.
Right.
Like it does. Is if someone says something that I don't agree with, I either just turn the channel or I don't listen.
Exactly. People are
But
weird with that
I
shit.
respect that. I respect that you have a different opinion from me. It's okay. I'm not God. No one's God. Like no one's perfect. But it's weird how people are just like fixated on this man. It's very strange.
I have a lot more respect for Aaron Rodgers speaking his mind than I do a lot of people that I know.
That just follow
And just in
follow
general.
what people like. Yeah, they just whatever someone else says. That's what they just. No matter what, they just do it. It's weird. It's weird to me.
Let's go back to the future. I know you don't want to think about. Nobody wants to think about that, really. But I mean, I feel like they're gonna have to maybe trade for somebody, like you said, because you got to figure they're not going to be in a position, a draft pick position, to pick somebody. Let's say next year, right? As a backup.
I
You're
mean,
not getting.
they drafted the kid. Not to interrupt you, they drafted
No,
the
no, you're
kid out of
good.
Florida State that I do like. The one he wound up, I think, breaking his leg or something last year, and they took a
Okay.
chance on him drafting. I like him. What's their plan for him once he gets healthy and stuff? Maybe they feel like he's the guy, and him sitting back now in the cut, just watching how an
Yeah,
NFL team works, watching Rodgers. Maybe that's the guy they believe in, which is why they drafted him.
it's possible. I mean,
Because I did like him. I did like him in Florida State until he got hurt.
is
And once
he?
then I gotta look up the guy's name now.
So he's out this year, right?
Yeah, he's
I'm
out.
assuming. Is he on the sideline, like watching the
He might
games,
be
or
he might be on IR.
he's on IR?
Jordan Travis.
Jordan, I don't even know that. Interesting, huh?
He's 24 years old. Trying to find out right now what do they have him on? Yeah, he was drafted in the 5th round this year, 171. And I think a lot of
Interesting.
people. I think if he didn't get hurt, he would have been long gone. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But maybe they see something in him.
So you wait. I'm sorry. So he got hurt at Florida State, but got drafted anyway.
He
Is
got
that what
hurt at
happened?
Florida State, if I'm not mistaken, last year. It was a
Okay.
leg or something or a hip. I don't remember the exact injury. And
Interesting. Okay, that's something to keep an eye on. I mean, there you go. Maybe, like you said, maybe that's the answer.
I'm just looking at an article here. I'm trying to figure out like he was having a Heisman Trophy worthy season in 2023 before a leg injury knocked him out for the season early against over North Alabama.
Interesting. Okay.
One quick thing here. That victory improved the Seminoles at that time to 11-0 and called into question whether they were going forward of being in the top 4 of college football after that win.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, they were doing well, and I guess they just took a flyer on him after he got hurt. And I'm just thinking that if he didn't get hurt, how many more teams would have taken a chance on him?
Interesting.
Earlier.
Yeah, he would have been gone then, like you said. Well, I mean, listen, you might have just answered my own question. If this guy, and I'm sure they're going to keep their eyes open coming up for this for the next year's draft. I know there are some. Just don't draft Riley Leonard. That guy fucking sucks. That guy's not an NFL quarterback.
Who's that?
The quarterback for Notre Dame.
Oh,
he's
your man.
Awful. Yeah, no, he's not my man. He sucks. Stop with Duke quarterbacks because they're garbage. Anyway, okay, sir. Braylon Allen.
Oh yeah, this was real quick. I just found it funny.
Yeah, are you talking about the tweet about Rodgers that he said about Rodgers?
No, somebody tweeted something. Was it at him? I'm not 100% sure if it was at him, but he saw the tweet.
Okay.
And it goes back to what we always talking about. And this is common thought with a lot of people or a lot of experts, blah, blah, blah. So somebody tweeted, how the F?
Oh, I'm seeing it now.
How the F did I'm not verbatim because I don't really remember exactly, but it's kind of exactly
what I have it right here.
He was like, how the F did Braylon Allen get drafted in the 4th round, right?
Yeah, dropped to the 4th round, yes.
And then Braylon Allen responded, because somebody wanted to see me play football in my underwear.
Yeah. Yeah, he said everyone wanted to see me run. Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Everyone wanted to see me run in my underwear to decide if I was a good football player.
So he's essentially taking a shot at the combine.
Yeah. Right.
Which is what we always... Your boy... Tiki Barber always says it's nonsense. You cannot tell who's a good football player and who's not a good football player by going to the combine. Do they do things that other people can't do athletically? Jump high,
sure,
throw the ball. He said, "Yeah, but where's the rush?" Like we always say, "Where's the rush? Where's this? Where's that?" You're essentially playing catch with no pads on. You're running with no pads on. Of course, you may. Do you think some people would run the 40 that they run the time they run in if they actually had pads on? No, it'd probably be slower.
No, yeah, I would say a little bit slower.
Not a lot, not a big difference, but it would be a little slower.
Yeah, it would be, obviously. Physics.
That combine thing, right now through 3 games, just speaking now in 3 games, it's a travesty that kid got drafted in the 4th round. And no one else picked him up. But thank God we did.
Where did he go to college? I see it
Wisconsin,
when I'm watching the game.
Wisconsin?
Yeah, okay, it is Wisconsin. Yeah, because his location on
he might be from Wisconsin too. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, his his location's like Wisconsin. He's fucking strong, dude.
Bro, he just runs people. Oh, he's like a brick house.
There's a video pinned on the top of his Twitter from 2022 when he was at Wisconsin and doing the clean and jerk. 406 pounds. If y'all know what a clean and jerk is, get your mind out of the gutter.
Oh, I thought that was every time you... Oh, sorry.
Come on. This is a family show. No, it's not. But as much as we curse on this fucking thing. Bro, that's hard to do, man. 406 pounds on that? For people who don't know, it's like you're doing the deadlift, and then you kind of go bring it into the squat, and it goes underneath your...
So you would know more about that. I'm not really... My brother probably knows about that because he lifts too.
Yeah, it goes underneath your...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Underneath your chin. It's a combination move,
So
basically.
you stop it there, and then you drop it,
and then you drop it. Yeah, it's that thing, and you see it.
400 and what?
406 pounds. He's a skinny guy too. He's
No, he's like, you could tell he has muscle, but like if he had clothes on, you might not be able to tell. He's like Bruce Lee, but when then Bruce Lee took his shirt off, he was ripped.
Yeah. That's the kind of body this guy has. But man, 406. Goddamn. Just get rid of that.
Hurt just thinking about it.
Just get rid of that broccoli hair. I hate that shit. I don't.
You leave him alone. He's 20 years old.
I'm never gonna understand that trend. Listen, guys, if you people listen and have kids, please shave their heads off. Start all over again. I hate that fucking look so much. Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, part of it might be because he misses his hair.
Yeah.
So cut him some slack.
So I know we're going to talk about our picks for Thursday, but are you confident Thursday? I mean, Sunday for the Jets against the Broncos, considering what the Broncos did this past week? You don't care. You don't think it's an issue.
Nah, I don't look at it like that.
Okay. I'm just, that's fine. So let's go into some of the stuff that surprised us maybe from this past week 3. And I mean, let's start with what happened last night. Jesus Christ, man. And we talked about in the pre-show NFL preview. We had a whole thing about NFL quarterbacks. All of a sudden, we're seeing people talk about this topic with everything with Bryce Young. LeeJay sent me a clip of somebody on fucking ESPN saying it. You know what I did? I responded with a clip of what LeeJay said, and that thing got almost 5,000 views. Anyway,
and real quick, what happened? I want to tell a quick story, real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what your record was last week on the picks?
Yeah, hold on a second, because I know I think I was 3.
I'm going to tell you the stupidity that I did last night, and I cannot believe I did this.
I think I was 3-2. Don't forget, because I lost on Thursday, and that voids the parlay. So I have to go back in there and rebet.
No, this was based on last night's 2 games, because I made a bet last night, and I'm gonna.
Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, let me. So last week I went 2-3, hit on the Giants and hit on the Lions. Lost on the Pats, lost on the Buccaneers, and lost on the Raiders.
So I went 4-1.
Oh, shit.
I hit on the Jets. I hit on the Giants. I hit on Buffalo last night. Lost to the Vegas because they shot the bed. Here's the funny thing.
Did.
Do you remember who I picked out of the command? My last game was Commander Cincinnati. Do you remember who I picked?
I don't remember.
I picked the Commanders.
Okay.
Last night, I say, you know what? I'm feeling good. So I went and I did the 2-game parlay for 4 different things. I picked the first game. I picked the Buffalo to outright win, which they did.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton Kincaid to catch a touchdown, which he did.
Okay.
Second game, I picked Jamar Chase to catch a touchdown, which he did. He caught 2.
Saw that, right?
I didn't go back to my notes, and I thought I picked the Bengals. And I picked the Bengals to win.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bro, when that game ended, I laid on this floor for like 15 minutes.
Can I ask you?
Yeah, I was about to. You want to know the price?
Yes.
Almost $600.
Oh, dude, that would have been drinking money this weekend.
Bro, I literally almost cried.
I would have cried.
And I said to myself, why didn't I just go back and check? I was so confident. I thought I picked Cincinnati, and I didn't. And I go back because I underlined it in a market who I picked, and I had Washington. I was like, my God.
Oh, dude, that's awful.
And I just was like, I got to get over this.
Yeah, I'm
still thinking about it.
It happens. But, dude, and listen, the NFL is drunk right now. I told you this. Like, looking at bets that I've made and looking at some of the standings and some of the teams that are 0-3. And let's start last night. The Commanders beat the Bengals 38-33. Bengals are 0-3. The Commanders are 2-1. They're leading the NFC East. I know it's early. I get that. But Jaden Daniels last night,
He looked good.
21 of 23, 254 yards, setting an NFL record, rookie record for completion percentage at 91.3%. The Commanders scored on every possession except for the kneel downs at the end of each half.
How many
And they didn't
touchdowns did he
punt.
throw?
Oh, damn it. I knew you were going to ask me that fucking question. Give me a second. I think it was 3. He had two to the wide receiver. I forget
McLaurin.
his name. And then the one
McLaurin,
to
sorry.
and then the one to the offensive lineman who go back and watch that dance.
Oh, yes, the dance.
That shit
There's a reason why I asked that question. Do you know why? He threw more touchdowns than he had incompletions.
That's impressive.
The kid looked good last night. I can't say anything different. The kid looked good last night.
And here's the thing that they mentioned yesterday. Guess how many college starts he had? 50.
He had a lot. He played a lot of college football.
56.
I think he started in Arizona State and ended up in LSU.
Yeah. And don't forget, go back to that conversation that we had during the NFL preview episode.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I said, I was like, I would like to see the stats for quarterbacks that stay either the 4 years or get a lot of playing time in college. We're seeing that with Daniels right now because he was doing stuff, and I hate to make this comparison all the time, but I don't see Daniel Jones doing that. This is his 6th year in the fucking league.
You probably won't see him do that.
No.
Don't get your hopes up.
No, I know. Let me just make sure. Daniels had, yes, he had 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
I thought he had 3. I don't know why
I thought he threw 2. I thought he did throw 2 to McLaurin.
No, McLaurin had, I'm looking at the stats
and then the one to the big man.
No, he had 4. Yeah, McLaurin had 4 receptions for 100 yards and 1 touchdown. So, Trent Scott's the big man who caught that ball, by the way. But I don't know, man. It's crazy that this guy is doing what he's done through the first 3 games, and he looked good in the game against the Giants last week. There's no question about that. And it feels like he took a step up. You got a signature win against a guy that you were compared to at LSU because they kept bringing that up last night.
Oh, Joe Burrow.
Cool Joe Burrow. And now the Bengals are in fucking trouble. Though, I think since 1990, I heard the stat this morning, since 1990, 0.2% of teams that have started at 0-3 have made the playoffs. It is looking fucking dire for the Bengals right now. But I will say, with 7 spots, you got a chance now, I think, to maybe make it after 0-3, but you got to start winning games. I mean, that's it.
I mean, it's not even their defense is atrocious.
Yeah, it's bad.
They got the passer. Kansas City got that pass interference call last week, which is why they lost the game. They could have won that game. They laid an egg against the Patriots. I don't know how they did that. And then yesterday was just like they couldn't stop a nosebleed yesterday.
They gave up 356 yards.
That defense was disgusting.
Yeah.
Because they scored 33 points. They were scoring, They were throwing. I mean, Burrow threw 2 touchdowns? I mean, I don't think it was the offense.
He had 3, actually.
So much. It's just that defense just looked like terrible. There was like really no pressure on the quarterback. A lot of open receivers. It was freaking weird. It was freaking weird. I don't know.
They let Daniels. I mean, they had the Commanders. I keep on wanting to call them the Redskins. The Commanders had 108 yards on the ground. So, it's yeah. They let up. Commanders were 5 of 9 from 3rd down, and the Commanders converted all 3 of their 4th down.
Yep.
fourth down conversion. So
Yep.
it's like you can't let shit like that happen. That's how you end up. That's how you end up 0-3. But man, they've got some issues there. Moving on. This is why I'm going to stop betting because it is the game with the Broncos and the Bucks.
I don't know what the hell the Tampa Bay was doing. Weirdos.
Yeah.
You beat the Lions the previous week in Detroit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Then you come home, everything's in your favor, and you took a terrible diarrhea over over the whole field.
Yeah.
Like what? Oh my! Like you can never. That's why you can never call the NFL, man. What looks like an automatic or guaranteed win, you just don't know. You just don't know.
This season so far has been tough to predict because the talent. I know we make a lot of, and look, Carolina won Sunday, and we'll get into that a little bit. They won Sunday. I mean, is the gap that far between these teams that? And I think if you go back, I have to go back and look at the win-loss stuff, but I had a lot of teams finishing either around 500 or over 500. There were very few that I was like, no, 4 wins, like the Pats or something like that. And I know you were down on the Browns, but I always feel for the most part lately, there's been a lot of parity in the league. And while I was watching the Giants game, I had the NFL, the red zone on the corner, and I kept on glancing over. And they show more of the game on there than you think that they do. Bo Nix didn't look bad, didn't look terrible out there from the times that I kind of looked over at him. And if you look at, he didn't have any touchdown passes, but he didn't
I
look
think
terrible.
he ran one in. I think
he did. He had 9 rushes for 47 yards. I got the box score up now, and he had 22-yard run in there as well. So now I don't know what's going to happen Sunday against the Jets. If he's going to, maybe keep this up. He didn't lose in the game, is what I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's again, you thought the Bucks were going to be 3-0 today, and they're not, which is again, you can't. It's just kind of unpredictable. Now, your boy's 3-0 in Minnesota, and then you got somebody like Bill Belichick coming out today or this week saying that everybody believed in Darno except for the Jets.
Go away, Bill Belichick.
Sir, you have some respect for that man because that's going to be the next Giants coach.
Go away.
Just FYI.
He's just trying to keep himself relevant long enough so that way next year someone hires him.
No, I know.
Like he hates the Jets. We already know what he did.
I am aware.
He hates the Jets.
I am aware.
This just goes back to my point. Like you draft his kid number 3. I'm not going to keep saying it. We already know.
I know.
Then he went to Carolina. He did a couple good things with Carolina. Went to 49ers. He got to sit behind, Purdy, learn from Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
Now this guy's he's another O'Connell.
Yep.
In Minnesota is supposed to be another quarterback genius guy, offensive minded, and he's showing it. These things take time, man. It's like, and I'm happy for him. Actually, I'm happy. I just,
oh yeah,
in 2 weeks I hope we smash him. But right now,
London.
right now, I'm happy for the kid. Why not? He's getting his opportunity. This team makes it to the playoffs and make a deep run or something like that. He's going to start again next year, and they're going to re-sign him because I don't think they sign him to a 1-year contract.
Yeah, I think it would be smart to do that because you don't know if JJ McCarthy's going to be ready next year. So
unless they tell him, listen, thank you for what you did, but we're going to go with McCarthy, and maybe somebody else gives him a little bit of. But I don't see that.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think McCarthy's going to he's out for the year, and he's probably watching these games, but let him be healthy next year because I forget who they mentioned this with. Which quarterback this was? Oh, I think it was Derek May. Derek May takes first team snaps in practice. Like,
Derek May?
yeah. Now, the quarterback, the backup for the Pats. What's his name? May.
Oh,
What's his first name?
what is it? Why am
It's
I
not
drawing a
Derek.
blank?
Is it Derek? Am I going crazy?
I don't. I may be drawing a blank. Yay.
Who do I have him confused with?
Why is that
Drake May. I'm
Drake
sorry.
May. Drake May.
They mentioned. I think they mentioned in a broadcasting with the Jets that he comes in and takes first team snaps, like 25% of the first team snaps in
Which is
practice.
cool. I could rock with that.
Right. So that's why I'm saying that I think the smart thing for the Vikings to do is, because obviously McCarthy's not doing that this year. So he comes back next year healthy. So have him be Drake May next year and take those snaps on the first team during practice, and then you sit behind Darno again for another year. I don't think there's any harm in that. I read this somewhere. I think going into the season, he was like 100-1 odds to win the MVP, the NFL. Today, he's 35-1.
Wow.
And I'm not saying, yeah. And I'm not saying he's going to win the MVP. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying his odds, because he's played so well so far during the first 3 games, that he's being taken more seriously in Vegas as a better player. 4 touchdowns. He didn't break 200 yards, only 181 yards on 17 of 28 passing. But bro, CJ Stroud, man, 20 of 31, 215, 2 picks, got sacked 4 times.
That's another big part of the Minnesota team. Their defense is doing well with Brian Flores.
Right. Whoa, yes. So here's my question now. Let's get a little controversial. Is that man going to have a head coaching job this year based off of what he's doing right now?
It's a possibility. I'd probably give it like 80%.
Yeah.
If he keeps it up and they wind up making the playoffs, having a good record, I would say yes. His definitely chances are better this year than they were last year. I'd say that.
Big game for Minnesota on Sunday as they are playing in Green Bay. We actually thought about going to that game, but the tickets at Lambeau Field I'm not doing it. We're not doing it. We thought about it. We looked into it. It would have been cool because that's one.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but yeah,
that is
I'm
I'm
not willing to
Yeah, that is one stadium, and it would have been easy to get up there because there are so many shuttle buses that leave from
I would
Milwaukee
imagine
to get up there,
and then just drive up there. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I think tickets are like $200.
No, I'm good.
And they're going to be probably even more now because the Vikings are 3-0. So you have people coming in down from Minnesota for the game as well, which isn't far away. Anyway, Carolina puts in the redheaded king, and they come away with the win, and it seems like it's a completely different situation down in Charlotte. And everybody was like after the game, oh, I guess Bryce Young was the problem.
That's cool. That's cool. People are stupid. Let me help you out, you knuckleheads, real quick. Whoever said that, because you're really dumb.
Because I heard that.
Andy Dalton has been in the league for a very long time. Went to the playoffs numerous times under Marvin Lewis with the Bengals as their starting quarterback. Andy Dalton, as a veteran, probably was seeing things that Bryce Young wasn't seeing. Remember that whole thing with Sam Darnold? He was seeing ghosts. Remember that a few years ago?
Yes.
The same thing was probably happening with Bryce Young, but he just never said it. You know how many times Bryce Young got sacked last year?
I do not.
62.
Damn.
He came into this year. It's just, which goes to, I just keep, I don't like tapping myself on the back. Well, maybe I do.
No, you can do that. I know you do.
It keeps going back to my point. If you would have just let Andy Dalton do his thing and let this kid learn, even if he has to wait 3 years, it's fine. you maybe won a little. You probably would have won a little bit more. You would have saw what you saw last week, which is what they did, and they won the game because of who was quarterbacking. He learns all this. He takes all this information in. He gets better. He does better. It just doesn't. This actually proves my point, as opposed to everybody trying to say, "Oh, you see, maybe Bryce Young sucks." No, it's to the opposite. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that way to me. It doesn't click in my brain that way. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Going back to Dalton, 3 touchdowns, 319 yards on 26 for 37 passing. Deontay Johnson had 8 receptions for 122 yards and a touchdown. I love this guy's name. Chuba. Is that how you say it?
Oh,
Chuba?
Hubbard?
Chuba or Chuba? Hubbard.
Hubbard, yeah.
Jesus, what a name. That is a great fucking name. He had 114 yards on the ground, 21 rushes. He also had a receiving touchdown, 5 receptions, 55 yards. And the Raiders shit the bed. And bro, I don't know. I was just reading some stuff preparing for today, and I don't know. People are kind of like questioning Antonio Pierce because he sat down Minshew in this game, and it seems like he doesn't want to. I don't know. Is this guy the backup? Whoever the backup is, I forget his name.
Aiden O'Connell.
Is he gonna start this week?
People are in their feelings too because of what Antonio Pierce said, which I have no problem with it. Especially if that's what he noticed on the field, which was people made a lot of business decisions on that field on Sunday.
Yeah.
And what did he say? We're going to make some business decisions moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking out for that today because I was like, oh, are they going to make some moves today?
If they make moves, it'll probably be maybe look for people not starting that usually probably would start come Sunday.
Yeah. I don't think you should bench Minshew. He's not great, but he's probably your best chance.
I mean, you got 2 backup quarterbacks, and you're trying to figure out who's the starter for a team that's in like transition. It doesn't really work that way. Just stick to one, and just go with that. But if he thinks people are quitting and they really are quitting, that just goes to that's like an organization. Yes, it has to do with the person. You shouldn't do that, but like, I guess the Raiders are going to Raider.
If that's happening, you know what I forgot? I forgot to put the Mets game on. If that's happening in have they started? They started.
Yeah, I'm watching right now.
What's the score?
0-0. Braves got first and third, 2 outs. Bottom of the first.
First and third, 2 outs. This is
you might be a little ahead of me. Maybe
we'll see
once you put it on. Don't tell me anything. Just
no, I'm not
going to
know
if you're ahead or if I'm ahead. So I think we'll leave it at that.
What's the count right now?
3-2.
You're ahead of me. So don't say anything.
So I won't say anything.
Piece of shit. I'm so into like recording this. I'm like, oh shit, I totally forgot this fucking game was on. We'll talk about the Mets later. Yeah, I don't know. It's Raiders in situations interesting. Caleb Williams.
But it's also real quick.
Yeah.
And this has to do with the Jets too. These are the reasons why bad teams are bad. Like these things don't change. It's like the same thing. You're talking about the same shit with the same teams. You don't hear this about the Chiefs, even with the Packers. You don't hear these kind of things, man. So who are you hiring? Who are you bringing on the field? These it's weird, man. It's weird. It's the same effing teams.
Yeah,
it doesn't change. These are why these teams always pick in the top 10.
Well, I mean, it makes me wonder if somebody like the Raiders, they're just mismanaged, or Mark Davis just doesn't know what he's doing, or I don't know.
I don't know.
What do we know?
I don't know.
Well, what do we know about Caleb Williams right now by being nice to him? Because I know we have thoughts about him. But
I watched some of those clips of that game, and this is another reason why this right here, the analytical part of it stinks. Because if you looked at his numbers, just by his numbers, you would say, okay,
right, yes.
But he had a turnover in the end zone. These are the things that are more important to me. Because they had a meaningless touchdown at the end, so that doesn't really count. You get what I'm saying? He threw a meaningless touchdown at the end of the game. The game was already over. So right there, you're just looking at his numbers. Oh, he threw these many No, you have to look at the game. that game was an atrocity to watch. Anthony Richardson, another one of these other rookies that got drafted. Look at him. Look at what he's doing. He sucks too. He got hurt last year. His numbers were terrible against the Bears, and they wound up winning the game. Like, what?
He was 10 of 20 for 167 yards. His QBR, which is the ESPN stat, was a paltry 17.8.
Paltry?
Yes. And his rating for the game, bro, it was 39. That's awful.
I didn't even do that in McCarran Park growing up.
And Caleb, yeah,
just that stinks.
I mean, look, Caleb's rating wasn't better. It was 80.8, despite, dude, you can't, this guy, one thing I was kind of reading and, just looking at the scuttlebutt and people's opinions and stuff like that, but 52 attempts. That's a lot.
Like, what? That means there was no side of the running game anywhere. You didn't think about running the ball, and you just threw the ball all over the field. And then you had key turnovers. And like I said, one of the touchdowns don't even count because it was the game was already over. Going back to what you said, it's like, it's not a good product right now. It's not a good product.
No, it's not.
And we're not going to stop watching, obviously. People love football. They can't get enough of it. But they got to do something to correct what's happening here because it's gross.
I mean, what were they? I mean, you haven't, going back to the quarterback stuff, and maybe this is like the problem when this guy's only throwing for 167 yards. And I think, what did they say? I don't have the exact numbers, but through like 3 games, the number of guys that have thrown for over 300 yards is minuscule. It's just not, it's not happening right now. It's been a more rushing heavy offense right now, league right now. And I took a picture of this because they had it on the Monday night game. I think I took a picture of this. Yes, here we go. This was through the first 2 weeks of the season so far this year. 7,992 rushing yards across the league this season. That's the most through 2 weeks since 1978.
Oh my God. I was 1 year old.
I wasn't even born yet.
Oh shit.
I wasn't dead, but I don't think that's the way that works. That was like that was the last point that I wanted to make on that, is that rushing stat is just it's crazy. Dude, look how much, and this has been a scuttlebutt all week after the Chiefs just barely got by on Sunday. We didn't even mention that, but what did Mahomes have passing? Like, I don't even think he broke 200 yards for that game.
I think everybody's just trying to be like a copycat league. Get the quarterback, throw it around all over the place, try to be these other teams that they're not, instead of just trying to create their own blueprint and stick to what they're trying to build. But like I said, everybody wants to be everybody else. 2-3 years, let's restart. Hit the restart button. New coach, new GM, new quarterback, new running back. Hamster wheel of turds.
By the way, Mahomes had 217 yards passing. 26 for 39.
Listen, any of you owners, you could hire me. I'm not expensive. You could give me $150,000 a year. I'll be happy. That's how much I love sports. And I'll get you a championship within the 5 years that you hire me. That's guaranteed.
Wow.
It's not complicated.
You heard it here first.
That's how I feel. Because you know what? There's part of me that says we can't be wrong if we keep seeing the same awful product over and over and over again. And we're not talking about 1 year, 2. We're talking about multiple years.
Right.
Multiple years. 5, 10, 15 years, the same crap, the same garbage. And it's the same teams that suck all year, every year. That's it. I'm done with you.
All right. Picks for week 4, which is, I can't believe we're already at this fucking point already.
Hold on, I got to get my charger. You keep it going I come back.
Your charger for your laptop? He already left. Oh my God. So I can't believe we're already in week 4. And traditionally, when we were at a 16-game season, this was the quarter mark, and it kind of still is. We're still in September for the year, but we are, as I mentioned for last week, I went 2-3 on my picks. LeeJay went 4-1. I have not been keeping track. He's back. I have not been keeping track of the
Howdy.
picks to see where we are for the season, but I need to do that at some point. So, let's go with the Jets and Giants first. We'll do those two games first and then get into the rest of it. But so I think I might be making a mistake here, but I wrote it down and I'm gonna stick with it. I am taking the Giants at +5.5 against the Cowboys. Strictly on the spread here. Again, this is what we do here. Strictly on the spread. Do I think the Giants are going to win Thursday? Well, I picked them to win in the preseason. So, yeah, that's my pick. I'm staying with it. But from a spread perspective, I am taking the Giants at +5.5. Sir, your choice for this Giants Cowboys tilt on Thursday night that we will be watching in Milwaukee.
I also believe, if I'm not mistaken, I picked them to lose both games to the Cowboys this year.
You did.
I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say I'm not going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with something else. I'm going to pick if the Giants could just do what they did last week, and I know it was against the Browns, and just do a little bit more in the second half, not a lot, just a little bit more than what they did in the first half, which is not saying much.
Right. Jesus Christ.
Giants 24, Cowboys 20.
Wow. So, but wait. So you're okay. So your betting line, you're going with the not only the win,
Giants.
but with the picks. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Okay. Jets and Broncos. I mean, come on. I'm taking the Jets with the -7. They will win by more than 7 points on Sunday. Period.
Oh, they
Stop.
had when I checked, it was 7.5.
Oh shit! Did they check? Let me. Let's open up the FanDuel because when I checked just earlier, bro, I saw.
I checked right before I logged on.
Oh shit! Really? It must have. It moved then, because it was at 7 when I checked. Yeah, it moved by 0.5 point.
Yep, 7.5.
All right, I'm still going with it. It's fine. They'll probably win by like 10 at the very least. So, all right. I'll do my first pick outside of.
I got the Jets too that game. 31-17.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry.
31-17.
31.
We're gonna score a little bit more points than we did against the Patriots.
What's the over on that game? That's a lot of points.
Not sure. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. I think it's like 30 something.
It's 38.5.
Yep.
Interesting. All right. First game that's different. That's outside the local teams. I am taking the Chargers at 8.5 against the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I thought about that, but I'm not interested.
Yeah, that's I'm getting ballsy here. Whether I actually make these bets, folks, is another story because I'm tired of losing money. So, sir, your first game outside of the locals.
My first game is, and people hate this, but to this day, at my core, I love ugly football. I love defense.
I do too.
I love running. I just love ugly football.
Yeah,
we all know what that means.
Yeah.
So who's been playing ugly football this year that's undefeated?
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Bingo, bango, my man. Pots and pans. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers at -1.5. They will beat the Colts 17-10.
Yeah. The Steelers are winning ugly right now.
Their defense is incredible. Justin Fields is doing just enough running and throwing to win these games. And I think they're going to do it against they're not going to win by much, but that Colts team is ugly.
Yeah. We didn't even mention the Steelers in our week 3 roundup. By the way, I know you keep on saying you said in the beginning of the season that you don't think that Russell Wilson or Fields is going to be there next year.
No.
Brother, if the Steelers keep winning, they're not going to get a good draft pick. Fields is going to be there again next year.
I can see that. Yeah, just because they won't get a good draft pick. But if they had it, like, if they wound up somehow, some way doing, like, I don't know, barely over 500 or whatever, I don't think he'll be. I'll preface it with that. But if they wind up being like 11-6,
yeah, right, yeah,
12-5 or something like that, yeah, excuse me, they'll probably re-sign him, but not to a long-term contract, something short, just to see what happens.
Right, I get it. Okay, second game. I'm taking the Commanders.
Oh my God, he's sold on the Commanders.
I am. I'm sold, baby. After watching that game last night,
you should buy yourself a Commanders hat.
That's not going to happen.
Oh,
Commanders plus 3.5 against the Cardinals, sir. You're.
I can't believe I'm doing this, but I tell you this: if they don't win this game, their season's over. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals over the Carolina Panthers. Minus 4.5. Cincinnati 24. Panthers 10.
I love how you're going a step further and giving scores. I got to think about that for next week. Yeah, I mean, if there was ever must-win games for teams, I would say Sunday's a must-win game for.
Yeah, they don't win that game Sunday. They're not going to make the playoffs. I'm wholeheartedly. They're out of it. They're dead.
They're done.
They're done.
All right, and the last game, we just spoke about them. The Darnos taking the Vikings plus 2.5 at Lambeau Field against the Packers.
I was going to go with that game, but I was going to go the opposite, but then I changed my mind.
What do you got?
I got the Saints at Atlanta. Give me Atlanta at minus 1.5. Atlanta wins 28-24.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm glad that we have different picks from outside of
that's why I just figure we don't talk about it. We just go with it.
Again, folks, we are not professional bettors.
Yeah, so please don't send me death threats and all of this. You want to, they are eating the pets. You want to come eat my pets and all of that? No.
Sir, come on.
You're going to kill me. I'm going to find you on the D train one day. No, I'm not a professional. I don't work for FanDuel. Go after those people.
Yeah. God, those commercials between I'm so sick of the Kevin Hart, LeBron James ones with DraftKings.
Just stop. Enough.
I'm so
Don't
sick
they have
of
enough
that
money?
Yeah.
I told you, like I told you a little while ago, the two of us, you don't have to pay us that much. And I could act dumber. I could act a lot dumber. Trust me.
Jesus Christ. All right. It is halftime here on Two Dummies That Just Watch a Sports Podcast Between Friends. And this is a good one. I feel like this is a good one because
this is his wheelhouse, ladies and gentlemen. I just interjected a little bit because I heard something in the past from somebody I knew.
Well, that's why I was gonna say this was my idea, but you said something that sparked something in my brain because it's something that I've heard of from females. Anyway, let's step back. Listen, we know, generally speaking, that social media is not real. People are always putting their best foot forward on social media. Everything's butterflies and rainbows, and you never see anything about I don't know, thunderstorms and earthquakes. I don't fucking know. I just pulled that one out of my ass. LinkedIn, which everybody knows is like the professional social media network. The same thing happens on LinkedIn, but I think it's so much fucking worse because everybody's trying to make themselves out to be the smartest person in the room so that either they can get hired for a job or pass themselves off as an expert. And it's vomit inducing. And I'm on there a lot because I kind of have to be for my job. If you go and look at my profile, I don't care. I mean, I'm not trying to hide anything. Will Hernandez, just look for Will Hernandez on LinkedIn. You'll find me easily. And I usually keep my posts to like the stuff that I do with my job are having to do with the topics that I talk about, that I work for my clients and stuff like that. Perfect example.
His client. He's not an escort.
No, no, I'm not an escort. No, not that I'm aware. So recently, and you texted me, we talked about this a little bit about Amazon requiring people to be back 5 days a week in the office starting in January.
Yep.
Dude, I saw so many executives jumping on LinkedIn to give an opinion about this.
Oh my God.
And that's not even like the opinion about it's not really, it's what's relevant. But so LinkedIn has an algorithm that if you're an executive and you comment on like news or something, you get shown on like the front page of their trending section. And I think people genuinely sit down and think about what's the dumbest shit that I can write that's going to make me look good.
And get me to the front page. I definitely see that.
And
people
get me
want
to
attention, 100%.
Get me. Oh, it's absolutely get me it. So you had all this shit about these reasons why it's good to be in the office. It builds camaraderie. People get more work done, which I think is bullshit. By the way,
not true.
I don't think
5 days to build camaraderie.
No, you don't. You absolutely don't. You want to do 2 or 3? That's fine.
That's fine.
But you
that's
want
what
to
I do
5?
now. I don't get.
Yeah. You want to do 5 days a week? Fuck off, please. Just stop. So it's again. I just feel like that these responses on LinkedIn are not genuine because I think that they're trying to game the algorithm to sound smart, to sound like the smartest person in the room, and then maybe X company's going to give me a job. I see it every single day, and God, I wish I could say something, but I won't because I'm trying to be professional about it. But I'm just letting you guys know that LinkedIn is, I think, by far the worst of the social media networks when it comes to people being fake. Now, that's part 1.
You know what it is? Tell me if this makes sense.
Yeah, go ahead.
LinkedIn, it sounds smart.
Yes, it does.
You get what I'm trying to say? I can't explain what I'm saying, but you're smart enough, and I feel like people that's going to listen to this today is going to understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
It sounds smart.
Yes, it does.
And so people just go off that. Like I said, they want attention. These are the people that weren't hugged as children. And guess what, guys? My mother never hugged me, but I don't look for attention like that. So that says a lot.
Damn. Wow.
Carry on.
We really went there. So here's the second part of this whole thing. And this is something that LeeJay sparked in my head when he saw what I want to talk about. Gentlemen. I'm going to tell you guys something right now. Because let's be honest, and I'm not a fucking saint. I know that. I've said and done things in the past in regards to women that I'm not very proud of. But I'm a 45-year-old man and I've matured very much in the past few years. I never in my life would have thought to scour LinkedIn profiles like it's fucking Tinder. And you know how I know that this happens? And LeeJay, I'm going to get to your story because I want to hear this. You know how I know that this happens? I've had women tell me that, one, that creepy old men will reach out to them and say, oh, we have certain connections. How's it going? Hey, do you want to I see we're both in New York City. Do you want to go out and get a drink together? It's like, what? What are we doing here? Seriously. And then I've seen some of these messages that y'all send, you sick motherfuckers, on LinkedIn, on fucking LinkedIn. Oh, you look so good at that conference I saw you at last week. But I did see you had a ring on your finger. Are you looking? Are you in an open relationship? This is the shit that I've seen. I'm just letting you know. I'm not making this up. This is stuff that women have showed me on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn! It's a professional fucking social media thing. But sir, I am curious about your story that you told me, if you want to get into details about
I don't
that.
want to get into too much details. I don't really want to mention names or where
Sure.
it took
No,
place
no,
because
no.
then
Yes,
it'll give it away.
Yes, that's fine.
But someone, I don't have a relationship with them or anything. I just knew who they were.
Yes. Okay.
You should tell me and another friend of ours about LinkedIn and blah, blah, blah. But as he's talking more and having this conversation, my friend who is a lot into that stuff, he knows about it. Not that he's necessarily on there, but he follows stuff like that, like the stock market, a lot of stuff like that. I get a lot of info from him like I do from you.
Yeah.
So he's there talking to us, blah, 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 blah. And then he just veers off into like the woods talking about he the majority of the time that he's on LinkedIn, he's trying to use it to hook up with chicks.
That's incredible to me.
And I'm saying to myself, number one, we're not friends.
Right.
So why are you telling me this?
Sure.
I don't care.
Mhm.
And number two, after the conversation was over, me and my homeboy, we started talking. I'm like, yo, he's like, yeah, that's not supposed to be, that's not for that.
No, it's
But that
definitely
just
for
explains
that.
a lot about this person and who this person is. And I'm like what happened to you? Like he was trying to say, like, yeah, just like kind of what you were just saying, like just kind of like, I guess, lie who you know, maybe who you work for.
Yes.
Maybe you have your own business. They don't know. Like it's not like you get locked up for saying you don't have your own business, something like that, and you're just using it as a way to like lure chicks. I say that's creepy, bro. Why would you like this? You tell her this, and then you tell her to meet you somewhere. Let's say it's like an apartment or something. She gets there, and you're like Deshaun Watson, butt ass naked on the table.
Bro, what you're describing sounds even worse than what I've.
No, he's saying things like he's not saying that per se, but if you just read between the lines, it's
okay, gotcha. Okay,
this is weird. he once tried to show me how to there was this particular website. It was like back at I don't even know how much it happens now. You know how like back in the days, what the store was in the back, it was something else that was illegal.
Oh yeah.
He showed me once about a website where it said, I don't even know how this happened. The website sold whatever it sold, auto parts. I can't remember exactly, but where he could go behind like this whatever, and it was like these whole bunch of illegal massage parlors across the New York City.
I can believe that,
bro. And you know me. There's certain things that I don't care to know. I don't even know how to get there. It doesn't interest me.
Right.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, how the fuck do you know this? But this is the same person that tells me, oh, my wife pays my phone bill. She knows the numbers I call that are not hers. I'm like, oh my God, bro. Is that a serious question right now? I'm like, all this stuff doesn't add up to me. But not to get off track, it just like all this stuff lines up. And
it does.
How do you even get there? Like mentally, you're not right.
No.
Like there's apps and websites to do what you want to do. But it's like it's almost to me, it's like it's criminal because you're using LinkedIn, the place that's not used for, to lure people in.
Yeah.
And to me, that's criminal, man. That's creepy.
And I can see how you can do it easily as far as finding people, because if I go on LinkedIn right now, right, I'm going to open up the LinkedIn app because I'm going to give you guys an idea about how easy it is to find people. If you go to, there's a network tab, bro, I have all these people that I might be connected to, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. I mean, it's like 25 people here. So you look at these profiles, you think, oh, she looks cute. She looks cute. She looks cute. She looks cute. Let me see how many connections I have with me. This is how this happens. So, guys, LinkedIn
is not for that.
It's not for that. As I said here in the document, LinkedIn isn't real life or a dating app. Please stop.
Be sending pictures of your schween.
No, oh, God. Please don't do that either. Please.
Bro, sometimes, thank God, I'm not that hip when it comes to certain things. Eventually, I find out if I learn about it. It's just that I'm not. I just think like it takes a special kind of person to do these things. It's whatever happened going to the bar. You want to meet a chick, go to the bar. Like, no, that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It definitely doesn't.
But
Anyway.
I don't. Sorry, I didn't mean to say chick. I meant to say women. Sorry.
No, we can say chick. I say chick. Fuck it. I don't care. Dude. I've said
Brother.
chick in the office in front of my millennial Gen Z brethren. So anyway, all right. By the way, I just got a text from Eric, who was at the Mets game right now. He thinks that he's sitting behind Carlos Mendoza's family at the game. So for whatever that's worth.
I think they just showed the Cunha, the brothers.
Yeah,
Their
I saw
dad is
that.
there.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. All right. We're going to play a game right now as we get into the second half of the show. And this is all on you, sir. So
Yes.
I know it's
quick
baseball
game.
related. Yeah,
Yes.
quick game. Let's play a game. Go ahead. What do you got for me?
All right. So was it last week where Soto commented saying that
Yes.
he was
30
trying to hit a home run in every
ballpark.
major league, every ballpark actually before he becomes a free agent.
Yeah, he did it.
So now, besides him,
oh boy,
can you name the other 5 active MLB players
Jesus
that have hit
Christ.
obviously the stadiums of what they are now? Because some of them
Yeah.
didn't hit it in the Kingdom because they probably weren't playing. But you get what the stadiums now.
Yes, the stadiums
There's
now.
5 players. Can you name them?
This is 5 including Soto or 5?
No, this is 5.
Soto?
This doesn't include Soto. This is 5 other players.
Oh my God. There's no way I'm going to get any of these. Well, maybe let's see. I'm going to think. Let me think as quickly as I possibly
I'll give you a
can.
hint for one of them.
Okay.
What's the hint can I give? We talked about him a bit on one of the previous podcasts.
Oh, Stan.
Bingo. There you go. There's
Okay.
one.
That was easy. So it's got to be a guy like Stan. Well, now because Soto's 25 and he's done it. But he's been playing like since he was 12 years old.
There's one guy I'm actually even contemplating saying you might not even know who it is. Maybe you heard the name, but maybe you haven't. But you'll definitely be surprised.
Fuck. These are current
These
players.
are current. Yes, they are playing today.
Oh my God. This is very difficult. Larry's probably listening to this right now and has already spent them all out because that's who Larry is. We love you, Larry. Oh, fuck. I'm just seeing what's happening here on my screen.
Yes.
God damn it.
Yeah, I already saw that, so I wasn't sending you that message.
Yeah, well, now I'm upset because the Mets are down 1-0 in the bottom of the third, and there's nobody out right now. Man on second. Anyway, okay. Oh, boy. Somebody current. Jose Altuve.
No.
Damn it. Aaron Judge?
Nope.
That doesn't make any sense. I would think that this has happened a lot more recently because of the interleague and how you play everybody now.
Yes.
So
I would say yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I think that's what makes it more possible. A lot more possible.
Is it Mike Trout?
Nope.
Is it Ohtani?
Nope.
No. Jesus Christ. I'm about to give up.
Give me
another hint.
I'll give you 2 more guesses. All right. I'll give you this one because I think if I tell you this, you'll get it. What is he?
I just saw what happened. Now I'm getting upset. Go ahead.
He plays third base. Occasionally can play shortstop.
He plays third base and occasionally plays shortstop.
I don't know if he has played.
Tejada.
No.
All right. Go ahead. Hit me with the rest of them because that
guy was Manny Machado.
Oh, I was on the right team. Just forget. No, right? Isn't Tejada on? Wait, who's on the Padres on the left side of the infield? Machado and who else?
No, he doesn't play shortstop. I was gonna say Tatis, but he doesn't. Oh my God.
That's who I was thinking of. Tatis.
Oh, Fernando Tatis. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Number
Anyway.
3, Carlos Santana.
Oh fuck.
Not the guitarist. Whatever you want to consider him.
Yes.
Number 4, he's actually playing in the game today that we're watching.
Ozuna?
No.
Who?
Matt Olson.
Oh shit. Okay.
And here's the 5th one. Are you ready?
Hit me.
Randall Grichuk.
Who the fuck is that? Wait, who is that?
Google
Seriously.
I think he's on Arizona now.
Wait.
I think he's on Arizona now.
Randall what?
Grichuk. Randall Randal.
Yeah, I got that much. Yeah.
Grichuk Grichch.
Okay, I got him.
UK. I think he's on Arizona now.
He is on Arizona.
Yep.
He's 33 years old. Wow, that's insane. Never heard of this guy. I mean, I'm sure I have. It doesn't stick
It's just
out.
not. Yes,
Yeah.
That's how I meant it. Yes, I'm sure you
baseball as I
have, but it's
watched,
not like
yes.
one of those names
Yeah, it's
that you would
definitely
ever
not one
think of.
those
No,
names.
who besides Larry? Who would have gotten that? Who would have gotten that? Because I know Larry got it.
Maybe Carl. Carl's maybe the other person I know that probably might have gotten that. But
when I saw this first,
that's a good
I don't
one.
I don't even want to talk about how this played out in my house because no one's gonna believe me. So when I came across this, I was like, because the question was posed first, so I was like Stanton, and then I said Machado, but I couldn't get the other 3. I was like nowhere close. I would have never even guessed Santana, Olson, or Grichuk. Definitely not Grichuk. But
yeah,
he's one of the guys.
Sorry, I'm distracted right now, and I'm very upset. Boy. Oh boy. God, I forgot to make timestamps for these things. All right. Let's or did I somewhere else? Oh, I did. Okay. I'm using 2 different documents here, which is probably a mistake. Let's talk about the Mets, who right now, and I'm just gonna go based off of, and you correct me, just fucking say it because I just want to have the most accurate information here. They're down 2-0. Are they still down 2-0 on your end?
Yes.
Or are they okay? They were in Atlanta. Everybody knows what the situation is. The Mets got to win 2 out of 3 games in this series, basically, to put this away and clinch before the end of the season. Realistically, they have to go 4-2 over these next 6 games to put themselves in the playoffs. And right now, it's not looking good in the House of Horrors down in Atlanta as they're down 2-0 right now. But I want to go back to Sunday, and I want to go back to over the weekend because Pete Alonso maybe played his last game as a Met at Citi Field, depending on a number of factors and sold out crowd. The fans showed up this past weekend, by the way. It was the largest 3 game series outside of a Subway Series. Fans that attended over the weekend. Jesus Christ. So standing ovation, first at bat, standing ovation, last at bat. He didn't do shit really in this series, unless I missed something. But my question to you, sir, is he really done? Do you think he's back next year? Do you think there's any shot that he's back next year?
There's a shot, but I don't put at a high percentage. I don't think Alonso's this guy's guy. And I'm not really getting that off anything. I'm it's just my opinion.
Yeah,
and here's the unfortunate thing about Alonso. A couple things. He's doing us at the worst time.
Absolutely.
Number two, it's not like he has bad numbers. A lot of people are looking at it like he's not coming up when it most matters,
Right.
which is a problem. And like I said before, these are not, in everyone's eyes, these are not what we're used to seeing from Pete Alonso.
Right.
And my rebuttal to all of that is that I just hope that you have a plan, because even though those aren't what we're used to seeing Pete Alonso do over the years, it's still almost 40 home runs. It's still almost 90 RBIs, over 30 doubles. You have to replace that. Where's that productivity coming from? Because right now, whoever's in the farm system, there's no one, because there's no one being talked about. So unless you have somebody in mind, and there's not a lot of big free agents out there, Juan Soto obviously being the big name. So if you're going to replace him with him and you don't want to sign both of them, I get that. I could understand that. We can move on. But if
Right.
you don't sign Juan Soto and you lose Pete Alonso, what are we doing?
I mean, I think part of the issue is that they're going to spend so much money either trying to woo Soto or sign Soto that I don't think that they're going to have anything left over for him. And my other question too is, and this is, I want to see what Alonso's worth on the open market, because I think he made a mistake by not taking the money when it was offered to him, supposedly, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. We don't know that.
No, we don't know that, but that seems
All I stood on was, and I'll stand by it, at that moment in time, and even now, because I still don't know who he really is, but the numbers are going to tell me something else. At that moment in time, the money they offered him shouldn't have been less than Brandon Nimmo, and I'll stick to that.
no.
It should
I
have
know
been
you
at
don't like
least
that.
at that moment in time. It should have been at least what Nimmo got, or at least rounded up to 200, and I
Yeah,
would have been good with that.
no, I
Because
agree.
up until then, his numbers were phenomenal before the year started. But the rumor was what, 156? Come on, man, you can't do that.
I think wasn't it one. What did Nimmo get?
189, 180
Okay,
something.
okay.
I think they were trying to give Pete like 156. I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree
No,
with.
that's a little low. I do, I do agree with that, but yeah,
Oh
I don't
boy.
know.
Don't look at your television.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm looking at my iPad. So it's not my television. Um See, now I need to wait and see what happened here. I've got a one-on-one count right now.
Oh, you're really
Oh,
behind.
come
Oh, there
on.
we go. Okay, there we go.
Are you fucking serious? On that shit hit?
Yes.
He got fucking jammed? Oh, so now the Mets are down 3-0 at the bottom of the third, and I see Hefner calling the bullpen. Oh
Mhm.
boy, this is bad because listen, we don't know what's going to happen over the next 2 days because of this fucking hurricane that's heading down towards Georgia right now. So it's like I kept on saying all day today, they have to fucking win today. Today is the game to win, and they're down 3-0. I'm not saying that they're not capable of coming back, but they don't play well in that fucking stadium.
And they
Oh
didn't do
boy.
well against that guy that's pitching against them tonight.
Yes, right. I look at this guy's swing. Inside out swing.
Schwellenbach.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
Anyway,
I'm not gonna disparage him anymore because they're already down 3-0. Anyway. Yeah, I mean I guess the other thing too is Alonso gonna get offended because they're going after Soto first and not the guy that was there for Danny already quit on this game, by the way.
yeah, I'm not
Um
talking to Danny right now.
so yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But
I don't think he's coming back.
no, I don't think
And
so either.
I hate to say that, but I don't think so. I already gave you my 3 teams he's going to. So, well, one of the 3 teams I should say that I think he would be going to. So, we'll see what happens.
Wait, who do you thinking again?
Cubs,
Yeah.
Phillies, Yankees in that order.
Stop it. Stop with the Yankee shit.
I'm telling you.
By the way, the Mets Alvarez needs to do something about his fucking he can't throw people out for shit. And he didn't even throw the ball in that one. Do we even want to see what's going to happen here?
Do you think Alonso's coming back?
I don't, because I agree with you that I don't think he's a Stearns guy. I don't think this is what's going to happen. They're going to put Vientos at first base next year, and then you have a plethora of people that you can use in the infield because you're going to have Acuna.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to play second. You're going to have Lindor at third. I mean, at shortstop, and you're probably going to have Mauricio
Yep,
at
he's
third
coming back.
base. He's
Yep.
coming back next year. People forget about that guy. The other thing is too, Jet Williams plays the infield. So what could happen is that Acuna, he does
Yeah,
play
it
the
goes to the
outfield.
outfield. They were talking about going to the outfield.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you put Jet Williams at second base.
And he
So
could play center field, which is probably, it
yes,
seems like the perfect outfield position for him.
yeah, it
Between
does.
speed and everything else that goes
Yeah.
with playing center field.
Yeah. So, the Mets are going to have flexibility, I think, in that regard. So, listen, if you sign Soto and you have a starting lineup of, Lindor, Acuna, Soto, I don't know who would hit fourth in that lineup, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think he's coming back. The
No, he's
question
not.
is
He's not.
the question is too, does he want to come back? That's the other thing.
He's everything that he said. Obviously, he's going to say the right things, but I do think he likes New York. I do think he likes playing here, but he's also got to think about himself and his family because this is his last chance to make like big bank.
Yeah, this is his last big contract. There's not going to be anything after that because let's see, how old is he?
I think he's
Looking it up
30.
right
Going to be
now.
30.
He is 29. Yeah, he'll be 30 in December. So
Yep, there you go.
he's still. Let's see, they got out of the inning. He's still technically in his prime. He's probably got like.
Which here goes one more question. Maybe 5 years. So let's say this: he becomes a free agent. They're not getting as many as the calls as they thought they would get. Do we pick up the phone and say, "Listen, the market ain't that hot for you. We'll give you another year to prove it. Here's 25 million."
Mm, yeah,
Listen,
I mean,
that's what happened to a few Boris clients this year.
right. Yeah, I forget that.
They didn't get the money they thought they were going to get. Snell, Montgomery. Look at Montgomery. I think he fired Boris and hired somebody else, and he had a few comments to Boris how he effed up free agency for him.
Yeah,
Because apparently he wanted to go to Boston, and there was a contract lined up for him, and Boris effed that up. Apparently,
yeah. Boris is an interesting.
he's like I remember what I told you. He was an interesting person for Pete to sign with.
Yeah,
That guy,
that worried me when that happened.
in his mind, he thinks Pete Alonso is worth $500 billion. And we all
Probably.
know that's not true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's gonna go for as much as he thinks his clients are worth, and throw the numbers out there. Are they gonna get it? We'll see. I doubt it.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting offseason for the Mets, regardless of whether they make the playoffs or not. All right. I want to talk briefly about our little trip this weekend.
Woohoo!
We're going to be at Milwaukee on this weekend. LeeJay's never been there.
Nope.
I've been there plenty of times because, I used to live in Chicago and would frequently go up there when when the Mets were in town. Probably one of my top 5 stadiums that I've ever been to. Because
I was actually talking to a coworker today. He said top 5.
Yeah,
he likes it a lot.
Yeah, while there's nothing really too much around the area, because don't forget this is like, for people who don't know, whatever the hell it's called, American Life Field now, which is stupid. It's west of the city, west of downtown. So you gotta take a Uber out there, and tailgating is huge out there. I've done it a couple of times, which is nice. We're not going to go there to tailgate because we don't have a car, obviously. But there, we found a couple of bars that are within like 10-minute walking distance from the stadium, which is really nice. It's actually one of the bars that the 7 Line has gone to in the past. We're not going to get into the 7 Line right now. One of these days, I am going to get into the 7 Line. That's going to be a topic for discussion on this show because I have a lot of things to say about the 7 Line. and none of them are good. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been to Milwaukee in a few years because I haven't lived in Chicago for a while, so it'll be a nice trip back. Um, listen, for people who don't know Wisconsin very well, 3 things in Wisconsin, baby: beer, brats, and cheese.
And cheese.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know about that. About that city. There's a brewery in Wisconsin that is well known because it only has its beer can only be bought within the borders of Wisconsin, and it's so bad that it's called New Glarus Brewing Company.
Okay.
You can only get their beer in Wisconsin. And there have been bars on the Wisconsin-Minnesota border that are on the Minnesota side that have been fined
For selling
and
that?
for selling,
Wow.
yes, because they'll put it like you won't know it's this beer. It's a very special. It's called Spotted Cow. That's their most popular beer that these guys do. It's kind of like an IPA, very good. I'm gonna have like 20 of them this weekend. I
He
can't
has
wait.
20, I'll have 30.
And I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure I bring a 6-pack back with me
And
if I
then we'll
can.
be dead.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so good.
Fine though.
Yeah,
But like we mentioned before, I'm pretty sure we did mention it. You know, we're trying to knock off all the stadiums. He's been to a few more than I have.
yeah.
And he's been there already. So will be another one for me off the list. I guess some people would say it's a geeky thing to do, but you know what? Sometimes vacation
Yeah,
ain't
it's
always
not.
about beaches and resorts. This is
Yeah.
what we like to do. So you can fuck off because I don't really care.
Yeah, you are not really well you are because you go to beaches and stuff with Mel and resorts and
No,
stuff
yeah,
with
definitely. And
Mel.
I love doing
So
that stuff. Because I tell you what, I'm not a beach guy, never have, but the life, I'll admit this, the life she has introduced me to as far as resorts and Mexico and these kind of things,
mhm.
it's
Yes.
awesome. It's
Yeah.
awesome. But I
Yeah.
like doing the geeky stuff,
Yeah.
the baseball and the stadiums and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I don't think I would consider going to they're all 30 ballparks geeky stuff, but so what number stadium is this gonna be for you?
Oh, man, that's a great question. I wish I had the number in front of me. If I was to guess off the top of my head, where are you at right now? Do you have the number for yourself? I would have to run it
Oh,
down.
Jesus. I've said it on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
I said it on LinkedIn of all places.
if I was to guess 16,
I think I'm at 18 or 17. Hold on a second, because I put it on
if you're at that
LinkedIn.
number, then maybe I'm at a couple less, maybe 14.
Oh Christ. Let me see. Uh sure. I put a post on LinkedIn. Jesus Christ. I put a post on LinkedIn because when I went to a conference in the spring, I went to that shithole called the Oakland Coliseum. Here we go. Oh no. I'm not so no, because I put something on when we went to Camden Yards. I'm 17. 17
So,
stadiums.
so I would have to go by each division, and I could probably,
Yeah,
I
do it.
know off
Just
the
do it.
top of my,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to
It's
think.
fine.
AL East, I think I've been to every park. Yep, AL East.
No, you haven't been to Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah, Tampa Bay. So that's 4 right there, right?
Yes.
That's 4. The Central, AL Central. Who's in the Central? I've been to White Sox.
Into White Sox.
Detroit, no.
Hold on.
Minnesota,
Let
no.
me just bring up these. Just
Yeah, bring up the divisions, and we'll go by that way.
so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 5. So you got
AL
4
East.
AL East. Hold on, because now I gotta do a little tally here. So 4. Okay, you've only been to one in the Central, and that's with the White Sox.
Yeah, because who else is in the Central? Tigers, no. Minnesota
Kansas
Twins,
City,
no.
Minnesota,
Kansas City,
Cleveland.
no. No.
Yeah.
And Cleveland, no.
So 5. No, wait. 4. Yeah, 5
5.
overall. AL West.
I went to the one that I don't think you went to. I went to the original Kingdom.
That doesn't count though.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Current. You gotta go current.
Texas Rangers, no.
Houston,
Houston, no.
Oakland, LA.
Oakland, no. Been to Oakland,
LA Angels.
Angels, no.
Yeah, we're not going to Oakland until they're in Vegas. So, okay.
No.
So,
NL
NL
East,
East.
City Field, obviously. Washington,
Yep. Philadelphia
Philadelphia,
and Miami.
and Miami.
You
No
haven't been to
Atlanta.
Atlanta yet.
No.
So that's
Haven't
9.
been to downtown Atlanta yet.
We're not counting Milwaukee yet. Shut up with that. You've been to Wrigley Field, so that brings you to
Correct.
10. And you've been to Pittsburgh
Correct.
and Cincinnati. So that's 5, 10, 12.
12. And I don't think I've been to any one of them in the NL West.
No, you have not, because it's Dodgers. So
Dodgers,
12.
Giants, Padres, no. So it's 12.
Bro, you got some work to do, man.
And it'll be 13
You're not even
after this
halfway.
weekend.
You're not even halfway through.
And it'll be 13 after this weekend.
But we talk about next year. What do we say for next
There's
year?
a West Coast swing.
In case people
we
want
forgot about Colorado, which I haven't been to.
In case people want to join us. That's not real. We don't want you to join us. I got to look at the schedule. We're not going to do that now. But yeah, no, we're looking forward to it.
I think it was a West Coast swing. I think it started in Colorado and ended in San Diego, or vice versa.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, but we're looking forward to it. I love Milwaukee. Milwaukee's. I was telling somebody today that it's probably one of my favorite cities that I've been to, because it's small and it's like, dude, there's so many places to go fucking drink beer in that city because of what it is. And there are so many. I got to find a nice German house too, because I want to go have like a fucking stein of something. Oh, what a catch by Marte. And like some fucking like bratwurst shit. I'm looking forward to that.
These people, I could just imagine these people, blue collar people.
Oh yeah, it's very blue collar. Yeah,
love their sports, love their cheese, love their beer, and whatever little else that goes on in their little small state.
Yeah,
and the cities within.
Yeah, very college sports focused. Obviously,
yeah, that's true.
Wisconsin,
100%.
Marquette plays there. You know, so it's good.
I feel like we're not going to run into any trouble like we did in Philadelphia.
No, dude, are you kidding me? I've been to probably like 15 to 20 Mets games in Milwaukee in my life. I had somebody say something once. That was it. So,
and he was probably a Brewer fan from New York,
and
or from Philadelphia.
Probably. We had people come up to us when I went with the Severed Line. They were like, "Oh, this is so great that you guys are here. Thank you for adding to our economy." People are really nice there.
Adding to their economy.
Yeah, I swear to God, that's what they said to us.
Meanwhile, come here. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. Holy shit. Anyway, so here's something I want to bring up with you, because this continues to be a talking point because of Shohei Ohtani, who is going to win the MVP. I'm sorry, but the man's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, the Lindor thing's over just because he's been hurt. And that's no fault of his. He's hurt. It's just what it is.
It's done. So, of course, after he clinches the 50-50 season, he had that monster game against the Marlins. I don't even remember the fucking stats, but it was something insane, like 10 RBIs.
10 RBIs, or 3 home runs or something. It was wild.
It was crazy. So, of course, what do we start seeing? People are complaining again about him doing this stuff as the DH over and over and over and over again. So I was thinking, who's one guy that has won the DH in their career whose defense sucked? And that guy, Jose Canseco. And I'm going to go to his, because I had it up here. I have it up here. Maybe I don't anymore. Hold on. Because I had up he won the MVP in 1988.
Yeah, I was about to say 1988.
This was when he hit 40-40, and this is like the big hoopla.
He stole 40 bases. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Don't look at your iPad. Keep on looking for the stats.
Well, by you saying that, I know what's going to happen here.
Just keep on looking for the stats. Don't worry about your iPad. Make believe your iPad's broken.
See, now I got to wait and see what happens here.
Oh, why would you do that?
Apple too. Anyway, moving on. So, okay, so here are his key stats for 1988. This is the year he did the 40-40. 42 home runs, 124 RBIs. He had a slugging of 569. He actually hit 300, which is that's shocking to me. And I say that because his career batting average is 266.
260 something. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
266. Yeah. And here's the thing, because you know, you got to look and I want to see, okay, what were his fielding stats like that year, or just like overall in his life. And here's what I found, and this is why I this whole thing
It's
about
stupid.
it's stupid, because he has spent 3 seasons in the top 10 in errors. The year that he won the MVP, he was 4th in the American League for right fielders with errors at 7. There's been years where he was as high as 9 errors. That was the most in the league, and that was in 1991. 1991 also happened to be a good year for him statistically because he hit 44 home runs that year. That was his career high. The reason why I bring all this up is because, traditionally speaking, I feel, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the MVP is based on your offensive stats, your offensive numbers. There's a reason why they have the Gold Glove and all this other shit, okay, for the defensive part of it. But the MVP has always been about statistics from a batting perspective, from an offensive perspective.
Mhm.
And if you're talking about that, what the fuck is the big deal about Shohei Ohtani winning the MVP as a DH? I don't understand. As you keep on saying many times, go take it up with Rob Manfred and tell them to get rid of the fucking DH.
Yes, it sounds so simple and like minute and stupid, but it's true. These are the same people that said get rid of the pitcher batting. We want the DH in the National League.
Yes.
You got it. So now the Dodgers are saying, you know what? We're going to take advantage of that. Ohtani, just bat.
Yeah.
Part of it is also because he's hurt. But let's say he wasn't hurt.
Sure.
There's still Ohtani, such and such, whatever. I'm just going to throw the name out there because even though he's playing shortstop, Mookie Betts is a better right fielder than you. You don't play infield, so kill him playing DH. You get to rest. You get to chill. Why wouldn't you do that? You're taking advantage of the MLB rules. How's that his fault? That doesn't prevent him from not being able to hit a baseball, which is the hardest thing to do in sports. It doesn't make sense.
I'm going to take it one step further because I was just thinking about this, because as much as I hate Kyle Schwarber and I hate that motherfucker, they had him mic'd up on Sunday. He was the DH. Did you see what he was doing?
Yeah, he went to the back. They had like a batting cage there, which I didn't even know they did.
That I knew because I've been behind the scenes at stadiums before. Like Old Shea Stadium had the same thing. They had a little batting cage underneath the stadium. I will take it a step even further and saying what he's doing is even more difficult because you're not in the game like that and paying attention to everything, and you have to keep yourself warm in between at bats. So the fact that he's coming off the bench and doing this shit and hitting the way he is, don't forget, guys, go back to see read all the articles for when the Angels signed Ohtani. Oh, this guy's not going to hack it as a hitter in the major leagues. That's what they kept on saying. They kept on saying it over and over again. Oh, this guy's not going to hack it. The experts, as LeeJay likes to call them, guess what? You guys were fucking wrong. And this guy's having a great season.
And he played the field before, and he had the same season playing the field and pitching.
Right.
He not a season like this, but his numbers were still astronomical.
Right.
So your argument doesn't hold water with him because he's proven it previous seasons playing the field and pitching. Right?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong?
Sir, I don't.
So it doesn't make any, like, the argument. I get it. People are biased. They want to see their guy win. I'm a Mets fan. I would like to see Lindor win the MVP. He's just not the MVP. So, and you got to stop using the field thing. It's not his fault that he's a DH. Like I said, make it simple then. Get rid of the DH. See ya. Everybody got to play the field. It's not that simple. Like you said, it's all about offense. MVP's offense, and this guy's killing it. I don't think him sitting on the bench and playing DH has anything to do with him hitting a baseball. He's just good. And if he
Either
played the field, what his numbers would be? What, a little less?
yeah. I mean,
Is
I'm
it
looking.
is it that much of a difference?
I'm looking at his. He really hasn't. He actually has not played a lot of games in the field. It's more as a pitcher. He
So
has
what
played
was
the
he doing?
outfield.
He did play right field, no?
He played a little bit of right field and one time. He's only played 7 games in the field, which is insane.
But he was. How many games did he pitch?
Oh, he's 86 games as a pitcher.
All right,
that he's pitched.
and to me,
That's difficult to do.
yes, you're what? Come on.
Because he
stupid.
does hit in the days that he pitches, right? Because he's a DH. Is that do I have
I'm not
that right?
100%. I'm not 100% sure, but oh my goodness, I'm not 100% sure. But I would say, if I was to
I
take a guess, I would say yes, but I'm
I
not
think
100% sure.
yeah, I think he does.
But even so, he pitches one day, he's batting the next day. He's a hitter in the
Right.
lineup.
Right.
Pitchers rest 4 or 5 days to their next start. he's back in the lineup.
Oh, you shitting me? I hate
hell?
that motherfucker.
He's good.
Michael Harris. Fuck you. Fuck him. Anyway, I'm upset. I'm angry right now. All I'm saying is go look at some of these MVP guys that have won in the past, and it's just like, come on, man.
I
What are
just
we
thought
doing
about
here?
somebody else right now. This is just somebody off the top of my head who I think won MVP, and I don't know if he was the best defender. I could be definitely
Go
wrong
ahead,
on this.
say
I don't
it.
know why
I'll look
I
it
don't know
up.
why he popped into my head. Juan Gonzalez,
Oh God, he was not a good fielder. Let's look.
and I'm pretty sure he won MVP.
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure he did too.
1990.
He won it twice. He won in 96 and in 98.
You're welcome, everyone.
So he's a
And
two-time
did he
MVP.
win? And did he win one of them as a DH? Because they put him as DH, or he played majority of the games at DH. Because
Let me see. I'm looking up now. Bear with me here. 1988, he played
88 or 98.
Oh, 98. I'm sorry. 98. I'm looking up now. Wait, what did I say he won the MVP?
I think you said 96 and
96 and 98.
98.
96 and 98. So 96, his fielding, he played. Oh, wow. He spent the majority of his time as a DH. He played.
We're done with this.
I'm gonna go. No. I'm gonna go. He played. He actually played 24 games in center field, which is crazy, and he played 1 game in left field. Only 24 games in the outfield as a fielder. And let me see. What was the other year I said? I just want to check here. 98. He played. Okay, he actually played more. He played 116 games in the outfield. But his first MVP only played like a handful of games in the field. He was mostly a DH. Were people having this problem back then?
No, people are going to say it was a different game back then. The same rhetoric garbage. I don't want to. It is what it is. DH is DH. That's it.
I will say one thing about because I know a lot of people are Lindor. But a lot of people that I'm seeing that are saying that Ohtani shouldn't win the MVP as a DH, they're not Mets fans. Like you're seeing this on like MLB's like Instagram stuff. Oh, he's doing that stuff, but he's a DH. He's a DH. And then people are complaining because these Atlanta Braves fans are mad because I think it was 1 year Acuna had 71 stolen bases.
And last year he had 40 home runs and 70 stolen bases.
It was last year. Oh, okay. Yeah,
I think it was last year.
So people are like,
they're saying those are better numbers.
Yes, those are better numbers.
You could argue that. I get all of that. I understand that, but I don't agree with the DH thing. I just don't. I feel like this is a new thing. There's always something new.
There's always an excuse. Yes.
There's always some kind of excuse or something new to to go with your argument. Just have your argument. Somebody's gonna have a rebuttal and move on. He's the MVP. That's all. Oh boy.
Because jeez, I hate when you do this. Because Acuna won the MVP last year. That's why.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
So, but people are like, guys, you can't. Excuse me, you can't compare and contrast. It's just not the way this works. It's just not the
So
way
so
this works.
so it would have been different, and I know this is hypothetical. So the MVP should have been given to someone else if Acuna played DH. That's what you're telling me.
Mm.
Come on, it's stupid. It's stupid. Let's move on. Like, meaning let the people got to move on.
Speaking of moving on, I just got a text from Eric. He's leaving.
Tell him to go to the bathroom, take off all his med shit, and walk out of that stadium with
Oh,
pride.
my Siri is going off.
Ay, ay, ay.
Ah, boy. That this
This Rod Beck reject, I hate him.
Rod Beck reject. Jesus
I hate
Christ.
him. He looks just like Rod Beck. You remember Rod Beck?
Yeah, no, I
From the
remember.
Giant? He looks just
Yes.
like him.
Yes, I remember.
He's like his what do you call that thing? Doppelganger?
Yes. Yes, doppelganger. Yes. There's your word of the day, folks. Doppelganger.
Good Lord.
He's just
My
skinnier.
God.
He's a skinnier version of Rod Beck.
He stinks. He stinks, this guy.
Oh,
Anyway.
boy, this is terrible. Anyway, let's move on here. Because I'm upset now again. Oh shit! You know what? I don't see a what's our Mount Rushmore for this week? Oh yeah, I know what it is. Forget
Yeah.
that.
So
Okay,
we're good.
we'll get to that. This is gonna go 2.5 hours. I'm not gonna. Well, maybe it won't because I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. But it's something that I've consistently noticed over the years, especially as somebody who doesn't watch a lot of hockey.
I've always said this.
Yeah.
I've always said this.
Especially during the regular season, but apparently the preseason started this week. Did you know that after before I mentioned it to you?
I only know it because the morning show and Boom is a big Ranger
Oh,
fan.
that's right. He's a big Rangers fan. But here's the thing, and I've been saying this for a very, very long time, and LeeJay agrees. The NHL does a fucking terrible job of marketing their sport over and over and over again. I don't see any commercials on ESPN. I don't see any billboards anywhere. Granted,
Nope.
where I live, I don't know. Do you see any Rangers billboards in the
No.
city?
I told you at the beginning is they put a huge LaMelo Ball to promote Puma
Oh,
by
that's
Madison.
right. Yes. Yeah.
You know what idea I've always liked? And you was like, oh, these are cool. Remember when we took the S train that time? For
Oh,
those
they
that don't know,
wrap.
it's a shuttle train. It takes you from the east to the west side of
Yeah.
Manhattan.
And they wrap it in the
And those
Spider-Man
skins,
ad.
but
Yeah, the
for lack of
skins,
a better
yeah.
term, I guess those are called skins or whatever.
Yeah,
And it
the
was
skins.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's a perfect place
Yes.
that you could do these for the NHL.
I agree.
For the Rangers, I don't know so much about the Islanders just
No,
because of where
probably
they
not for
play.
Islanders. No.
It just has to
probably
be a
not.
Ranger thing.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
Yeah.
Granted, Rangers sell out. It's Madison Square Garden. But I think they sell out because those are hardcore fans.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. See, Knicks, to me, is different because you get a lot of tourists because they do a good job marketing.
Yeah.
A lot of people come in from different countries. You could look at them. You could hear them speaking.
Yeah.
They're there because it's the Knicks and it's Madison Square Garden. They're not there because it's the Rangers in Madison Square Garden. Basketball is global. People know the Knicks. People know certain players. LeBron James, Michael Jordan till this day. Kobe Bryant when he was alive. Shaq. And I get it. Hockey's not, it's not popular amongst a lot of people, but I would say to me, hockey is the best sport to watch live. It's awesome. You can never turn your head. There's always something happening.
Yeah, you have to be watching all the times.
But NHL does a poor job of marketing its sport. I'm sorry, it's true, 100%.
It's funny you mentioned it might not be popular, but here's the thing, and I don't know if this speaks to it. I could be talking out of my ass right now, but hockey is definitely more popular in this part of the country. There's not even a question
100%.
about it.
The colder states.
Yeah,
East Coast, I guess you would say.
Yeah, the Bruins are popular. Rangers, the Flyers, the Devils, and the Islanders. And if you want to go a little bit north, the Maple Leafs and the Canadiens. Very popular. So this portion of the country, and you've put in Canada as well, very popular. Now, is that a detriment to the fact that they're not doing enough to get in the casual fan? Where I don't know. I've been in the subways during hockey season. I see more Nets advertising in Manhattan than I ever saw fucking Ranger shit.
Yep.
And that's insane to me. That is fucking insane to me.
And it has to do a lot. You can't tell me about pricing because everybody goes to Knicks games.
Right.
Poor, rich, medium, hate the sport, love the sport, indifferent to the sport. Madison Square Garden Knicks games are always, we could suck, we could be good. It doesn't matter. They're always sold out and people pay premium price. Is marketing not very poor job. Very poor job.
I'm just trying to think because I'm going to really, really try. I said this last season and I didn't do it, but really make an effort to watch as much Rangers as I can. Not that we're necessarily going to talk about it too much on this podcast, but I just kind of want to watch it just to try to watch as much as I can. But what is it going to take for the league to get me to watch more outside games? Now, I heard that Amazon Prime is going to be doing this NFL red zone type of thing with the NHL starting in October, that they're going to like what a red zone does, go in and show key, and MLB Network does this too. They show key moments from the game. I might be interested in something like that. I think it's going to take something like that to get people interested. But again, why am I just finding out about this Amazon Prime thing today? I found out about it.
It's a fair argument.
I
watch it, like we still always say. I listen to enough. I watch enough to know. And like I said, he's a big fan, so he mentioned it. And
he did mention it. Okay.
the people on his shows like, oh boy, here we go. Because he could go down these deep dark holes about hockey, but he's knowledgeable. He knows a lot. He knows it. Bro, this guy's 63 years old. Shout out Boomer Esiason. We know he's not going to hear this. I met him one time.
I don't know. It's possible.
I met him one time in the World Trade Center. Really nice dude.
Yeah, I've never mentioned that.
He was a really nice guy. Bro, this guy's 63 years old. He does fucking 5 borough bike tours. He plays golf all the time. He played a couple flag football games. Bro, you know what he still does? He plays hockey.
That's insane.
Granted, it's not the NHL.
Right.
Smash mouth. But he still plays. This guy is 63 years old. He's not dying anytime soon. God bless him.
No. No. That guy's like an ultimate jock.
Yeah, seriously. Yes. And he's very knowledgeable. Like sometimes I'm just listening to him, like maybe I don't really know what he's talking about, but you know what he's talking about by listening to him.
I will say, now we're getting off on a tangent here, but I will say he's probably, because I don't think very highly of Tiki Barber as a because I just think he's so football focused, and I know he's like learning or whatever. Boomer might be the most knowledgeable former athlete that knows a lot about
everything,
other sports. Yes. Because he speaks intelligently on, like you said, the Rangers. He speaks because I know he's a Mets fan too.
He's a Mets fan. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He speaks intelligently about the Mets. He's watching the game. I don't think I've ever really heard him talk about basketball, but you would know better than
he's a Knicks fan.
Me. He's a Knicks fan.
But he talks well about basketball too. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff.
I know he's been doing this for a long time too, so I think that helps, and maybe Tiki will get there.
I think he's been on radio
eventually.
Dude, bro, I think this dude's been on radio like 17 or 18 years already.
That's crazy to think about.
Longer than his playing career. I think his playing career was 13 or 14 years, if I'm not mistaken. So between I think he's actually been on the Fan like 17 years.
That's
just
insane.
The Fan. Yep.
That's insane. Wow.
Yep, it's wild. Remember, he was on television, CBS.
Right. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yada, yada, yada.
Wow. Crazy. But yeah, NHL, do a fucking better job of marketing your damn sport. Seriously.
Yeah, brother.
You guys are terrible at it. All right. We said 2.5 hours, and we're almost at 2.5 hours. We are at the end here, and that means that it is time for our Mount Rushmore. And LeeJay had an interesting one for this week, and I was like, "Oh, I kind of do like that when you said it."
Now remember, this could be anything. Food,
Yeah.
whatever your
Yes.
choice is, your
Yes.
4 choices is your 4 choices.
Yes. So this is the
I
Mount
think we'll have a
Rushmore.
couple in common, but we'll see.
Yeah, probably. This is the Mount Rushmore of our favorite things about New York City. Yes, we fucking hate it. Don't get us wrong. We complain about it, but we're New Yorkers, and that's what we do. I saw there was
We're allowed to do that.
Yeah, we're allowed to do that. There was a thing that I saw on Instagram that I thought was funny. Being born and raised in NYC means that I've been stressed out and on high alert my whole entire life. Those are facts. Absolutely facts. But here's the thing. For as many bad things as there are,
there are good things about this. Yes, there are good things about New York City.
There are. And take it from somebody who has lived in many different places. Nothing compares to here.
And I visited him in a couple of those places.
Yes. The only place that's ever come close is Chicago. It is very New York
I was just
City
about to say, from the places I visited in, was probably Chicago.
Yeah. So you don't want to eat pizza in Boston. Let's just put it that way. Especially
we only ate that because we were very drunk that night, ladies and gentlemen. It was about 3:30.
Especially on the corner of Commonwealth Avenue and Harvard Avenue. Don't go there. Don't go to that spot.
I was so fucking drunk and so hungry.
We ate all that shit too.
I walked in there and said, "Can I get a large pie?" She looked at me like I had 27 dicks on my face.
Guys,
she said, "Sir, we don't have like pie here, like apple pie or like cherry pie." I'm like, "What?"
That's what we should have walked out.
Large pizza?
They don't use that language in Boston.
They do not use that language over there.
It's the same thing when you go to get a coffee.
Oh, Christ,
when you say a coffee regular, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
They don't know what you're talking about. No. You got to tell them exactly how you want your coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Oh, my God. Okay, who's going first here?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
As we just mentioned, pizza. Besides that one place that I got recommendation on the radio in Chicago, and the name of it is, we're going to do a shout out, I don't care, Pequod's. Yeah, That pizza was very good. I'm not going to lie, because I had that. Good. What was that other place?
Oh, Giordano's.
That place sucks.
That place sucks.
And like my brother says, it's like a pizza casserole. No, thank you. That shit is disgusting. It takes 45 minutes for it to cook. I don't have time for that. Give me a slice, fold it, let me hit the streets running. I haven't had any better pizza, and like we mentioned, Boston pizza sucks. There's no better pizza than New York pizza. I don't care what you say. You can get out of my face with that crap. Next thing, the bagel. Again, Mr. William and I woke up one morning of the many weekends that I went to his house in Boston to visit, and we were very hungry.
I know where this is going.
Not so much hungover, but we did drink the night before, and we were starving. And he said, "You know what? These people at my job are always talking about this bagel spot, which happened to be right by where he lived at that time." Mm-hmm. He said, "Let's go." Got a bait. What did we get? Basically a egg and whatever on a bagel. Bacon. Yeah. I don't know so much bacon. They didn't have bacon there.
No, they did.
Okay. I don't remember. Anyway,
but I don't think it was pork bacon.
Right. Just to say bacon. Right. Let me tell you something. That had to be the worst bagel I've had in my entire life. And apparently this place is like top notch in Boston, which tells you a lot.
Can I interject here?
Yes, you can.
Why we went there. I'm going to tell you guys why we went there. Because, and I said this at the time, and this is not meant to come up. Here's the thing. When you tell me it's a Jewish deli,
that gives you points. You go
high expectations for this. So somebody was like, "Oh, it's called Koopel's Bakery." Sorry, guys. Yeah. So somebody was like, "Oh, go to Koopel's Bakery because it's a Jewish deli that does the well, you get a bacon, egg, and cheese there. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
That place
I'm
sucks.
sorry. He wasn't good.
What? It's just my opinion.
And I said at the time, a Jewish deli in Boston is very different from a Jewish deli in New York City. And that's the end of the story. That's all I have to say.
That is true. We were better off just going to that Dunkin' Donuts down the block.
Yes. Dude, I've had better bacon, egg, and cheeses at Dunkin' Donuts in Boston than I have at any other place.
And that's terrible.
And that's a very sad state of affairs.
Ay, ay, ay.
Anyway, continue, sir.
My next one. As much as we bag on this, we talk shit about it because it deserves to be talked shit about. But not so much now, but more so when we were growing up, because growing up, there wasn't no such thing as Uber. There was no such thing as Lyft.
Mm-hmm.
There was no such thing as a yellow cab going to Brooklyn.
That's damn right.
The New York City subway system. We could go hang out 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, which, hello, other cities in the world, you got to stay open a little later.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what time it is. We could catch the train. It may take a little longer just because of the time of the night it is, which is fair. But you could always catch a train and you're going to always get home. This is more to like growing up. Not so much now because there's so many different ways you could get home now with Uber, like I mentioned, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But even now, a lot of people don't have money to take Ubers and cabs. The train system, for the most part, when it comes to that, is reliable.
Yes.
More so if you're hanging out on a Friday or Saturday and it goes past the time that you would have liked it to. And I'm talking about like after midnight. Stuff like that. So that would be my third one. And number 4, which kind of leads into the train. Once you get off the train, depending on where you're coming from and you're going home, the beautiful bodega. Let me tell you something. As many different cities and states I've visited, if you hang out to 2, 3 in the morning, you better hope you have food in your house because you're going to starve.
Very true.
It's true. But guess what? No matter what neighborhood you're in, Queen is every borough. Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Manhattan. There's always a store open. And I'm not talking about a 7-Eleven. I'm talking about a nice, we call it, growing up, everybody knows, bodegas. But for those folk that don't know,
the corner store.
Deli, however you want to call it, where you could get a sandwich, cheeseburger deluxe, chopped cheese, French fries, bacon, egg, and cheese at 1 o'clock in the morning, or coffee, or soda, potato chips, cake, whatever. More so visiting other cities is what I appreciate the most about New York City, and that's the 24-hour bodega. God, I love you guys.
Sir, I think this might be the only time where we have like the exact same
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And we didn't go over this, folks.
No, we did
Just
not.
to let you know.
And here's the thing. We do have the same 4 things. My last one's a little.
We do.
Yeah. No, we do. My last one's a little slightly different.
Okay.
Variation, but it's very comparable. I'm just gonna go through them. Just kind of give my
your opinion
on like the pizza thing.
Yeah.
Guys, I'll give you one. I heard something in the hallway. I'll give you one story that I'll never forget. I was in Chicago with Danny and Caesar, and we went to this pizza place near downtown Chicago-ish. More like, for people who know Chicago, it's more like near North. That's like the neighborhood. So, we were walking and we saw this pizza place that said New York style slice. And places in Chicago do sell New York style slices.
Oh, this is that place that the last time we went to Boston with Mel and who else? It was right where we walked. I think you showed me this spot.
But no, this is in Chicago. This was Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. I'm sorry. I think you said Boston. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
So we go in and we get a slice of pizza, whatever. Here's the problem. This is I remember distinctly writing this on Facebook years ago. If I can't fold my slice, if I cannot fold my New York slice that you claim to be, you're not a New York slice of pizza. Period. Stop. End the story. I will give a shout out. There was one place in Wicker Park, the Wicker Park neighborhood of Chicago, and people know where this is because it's like on the intersection of like Milwaukee and Damon and all that. That place had as close to New York style pizzas I've ever had in Chicago, and they were actually really good. So there is, I will tell you, you can get better New York style pizza in Chicago than Boston, which is crazy to think about considering how close
How
Boston
close it
is.
is, right?
Anyway, period stop, as LeeJay likes to say, the pizza in New York is head and shoulders above anywhere else. So are the bagels. Because as LeeJay shared with his story, Koopel's, a Jewish style deli in technically Brookline, same shit. It's right there by Boston. Terrible. And I'll never forget being on the Green Line, it's called. It's like that's one of the subway lines, sitting there, and some students were going to class or whatever, and they were like, I cannot wait to have my Einstein bagels when I get home. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You kids have no idea what a bagel is if you're getting excited about Einstein bagels. So,
I'd rather eat my own poop like a monkey.
or like an Eagles fan.
Oh, like an Eagles fan. That's a good one.
Eating that horse shit. I'm never going to forget that. I am never going to forget that. Anyway.
Yeah, let's move on.
That's all you have to say about those people. Number 3, the subway, listen, I always find it funny when people come to the city and visit the city, and people I've spoken to have visited the city that are not from New York City and say, well, I don't know how you guys navigate that subway. It's so confusing. I mean, I guess I can kind of see that because there are a multitude of lines, you're going to say.
If you're in the city and there's no service changes, just in Manhattan, because I do understand if you go to the other boroughs, it gets complicated.
Yes, it does.
If you're just in the city and you're just dealing with the numbers, it's not complicated.
No, it's not.
It's just like driving in the city. Folks, Manhattan is a grid.
Yes.
As long as you know which direction you're going in, the numbers go up. Guess where you're going?
Yeah.
North.
Yeah.
The numbers go down, south, yada, yada, yada. But I do give you, but a lot of tourists, they don't leave Manhattan.
They don't leave Manhattan. Yeah. Yeah.
But I get it.
No, I get
because it can be overwhelming, especially if you're taking the train during our rush hour.
Yeah.
And you're a tourist and all that chaos that's going, because I don't want to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
So I can imagine somebody from a foreign country coming here, doesn't speak English, and is trying to figure out how to get back to their fucking hotel.
I mean, the good thing now is that you have things like Google Translate
Right,
and stuff
true.
like that. And you can hold the phone over something and it changes the language like right there on the screen.
Yep.
So that stuff helps. But yeah, like LeeJay said, I mean, we spent so many years riding subway, and you still do, obviously, and I will be again. But I mean, I'm fortunate that even when I've left New York and come back, that I can hop on the subway and know exactly where I need to go, which trains I need to take most of the time, because I even get a little confused sometimes about where I'm going. But I've been on transit systems in other cities. Chicago probably comes close, but guess what? Even their transit system shuts down after a certain time.
Yeah, it's not the same.
And going
even
back
DC, I think even DC too.
Going back to what you said about being able to get someplace after a certain time, there were times where I had to make sure, living in Boston, that I was on the train by a certain time. If not, you'd be fucked. And you're taking an Uber home.
And it's going to probably cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, because a surge is happening, because it's the same situation.
There's no way to live life.
No, it's not. And that plays into number 4. My thing was more just New York City being a 24/7 city.
Yeah. Yep.
And having the food options, because again, going back to the Boston thing, I'll give you a perfect example of the situations that I faced when I was living in Somerville. Somerville is, look at that, a home run.
Yeah.
Somerville is just north of Boston. It is just it's basically Yonkers. Think about it as Yonkers, okay? And I would have to, if I went out late, I would have to get home by 1:30, because the only thing that was open late until 2 a.m. was a Chinese spot. And if I didn't get there to order at 1:30, that was it, because they wouldn't take orders after a certain time. This was like the gymnastics I had to play in my head to make sure, oh shit, if I leave at this time, am I going to get, and if I'm hungry, And if I don't have any food at the apartment, can I get to this place by 1:30 to get my shrimp fried rice? Most of the time I made it because if I didn't, I would starve
You know what I
until the
find
morning
odd
time.
too? When you was in Boston, that 7-Eleven wasn't open late.
No, it wasn't.
And 7-Elevens are usually open at least 1, 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
And
they were done
that
at
one
midnight.
wasn't.
Yeah, yeah. And what was even more strange about it is because where I lived was right smack in between two colleges, Boston
Yep.
College and BU, Boston University. And there are a shit ton of students that live in that area. So yeah, you're right. I am surprised that that was not an option after midnight. So, but yeah, as much as we complain about New York, there are some positives.
There's a bunch of other
And
things that didn't make the list.
oh yeah, go ahead.
I would probably say Broadway shows. I like going to a Broadway show.
Yeah,
Um, there's a bunch of different things within the city, within the outer boroughs that you could do. Like say you have children, family, even by yourself, that's
yeah,
free.
yeah,
You just have to look. Like a lot of these museums are free and a lot of the museums are nice. The only
yeah.
one I care for is the Museum of Natural History, and then my
That's my
ADD kicks
favorite
in.
one. Yeah.
But then my ADD kicks in for that one as well.
Yes.
Mel knows to keep me out of museums because you'll find me in the corner, either scrolling through Instagram or twitching because I want to go home.
Sir, seek help.
And you got, like I said, also got Central Park, Prospect Park.
Right.
So
Yes.
yes, we badmouth it, yada yada yada, but there are a bunch of things to do within New York City that you will enjoy.
There's no place like it in the US. I can't
No,
speak for other countries. I mean, I've
but in
been
the
to
U.S.,
yeah.
definitely not.
Yeah, there's nothing else. There's nothing else like it. So don't it's not all bad. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, that's gonna do it for a very long episode of Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. We are off to Milwaukee. We will post pictures on Instagram. And maybe the way it's looking right now, Jesus, I don't know if they're going to be going for a clinching in Milwaukee, but we'll see. Fingers are crossed. Like I said, we'll be recording next Wednesday, so look out for next week's podcast on next Thursday. I am Will Hernandez here for LeeJay Parilla, and we will see you next week. Peace out, guys.
Later.